Hello and welcome to Kingdoms Forlorn, Dragons, Devils, and Kings. This is the Tabletop Simulator demo for this fantastic tabletop game by Into the Unknown Studios, a 1 to 5 player solo operative dungeon delving boss battling game. And yes, I know there's many subscribers on my channel that have come from me doing an initial beginner's guide for this game, as well as their previous game, Aeon Trespass Odyssey, and doing videos on that. I really love this game. I think it's going to be a huge hit. I mean, obviously, it's a little bit premature, I think, maybe talking like that, but from what I've played a little bit in this TTS demo and have seen all the different changes they've made, I will be making an updated beginner's guide to this game because I believe this demo shows a little bit more of the finalized version, even though 100%. It is not 100% complete. We are missing like the storybooks and stuff like that, and there are probably still some minor changes that might come up just for some mechanics and things here and there. So this is not final, but I think it is the more finalized version of the game. I can't see them changing too much, so I think I'll probably make a updated beginner's guide video to this game so you can follow along and do that. For this video today, though, we are just going to play the game. We're just going to have some fun. I actually have not done a full, complete run of this game yet. I have spent many hours scouring the rules, looking at videos and stuff like that to familiarize myself and relearn the game, essentially, since they have changed a lot since the prototype that I played, was it 2 years ago? Last year ago? It was a long time ago. They made some really amazing changes, especially to the Squires and especially with how the delving works. So I will be talking about some of my thought process and sort of what I'm doing strategy-wise and stuff like that as I play, but I will not be going over every single rule, every single mechanic, things like that. But this video should be enough for you to follow along and figure out what I'm doing as I'm talking about it. And if you want to try out the TTS demo yourself, I will have a link in the description below for the Tabletop Simulator demo. I will be playing full solo, true solo with 3 Squires. I have yet to see a video with Squire gameplay yet, and so I figured many of you are interested to see how that turns out. I already have some initial thoughts. I will not spoil what I think about them right now, but we will dive into it. I've already done some setup right away, but I'll go to the setup page. When you open up the TTS demo, your page will also look slightly different than this because I've already moved, so I've customized the table a little bit. I've shrunken the box in the corner to make a little bit more room for the delving tiles. I've also made a couple of copies of the rulebook, which I do recommend you doing. One copy is great to have open for the expeditions page so you can follow along each step. If you are like myself and playing with the solo Squire rules, definitely have a page open for the Squire rules there. And then when it comes to keywords, having a rulebook copied and pasted just for the keywords is also a nice thing to have for that. Alrighty, I think we're ready to start. So I'm going to be playing with the knight that I have not played with yet, Paracelsa. So she was one that was not in the prototype book. She's sort of a zealous knight, which is fantastic. I love her abilities as well. She utilizes these zeal tokens that she can get by either crit missing or potentially other ways, leveling up through the heroic arc, for example. The more she has on her board, she can have up to 3 of them. The more cumulative bonuses she gets, similar to how the heroic arc works. So she's very much like an offensive damage dealing type, it seems like, and she also has the benefit of if she has 3 or more zeal tokens and she's about to die, she gets to do a revenge attack before she succumbs to her wounds. She also sort of reminds me of a Sister of Battle from Warhammer 40,000, which I absolutely love. She starts with 1 bravery, 2 tenacity, and 1 insight for her virtue stats. And again, if you do need to figure out how to set up your character, each knight in their knight book has their own setup page and how you set them up and how some of their special rules work. And again, for the TTS demo, we do not have any storybook, so we don't have any overarching main story stuff. We do have the side investigations for Chapter 1, though. We'll choose Crusader Errant for the potential reward of Mantle of the Faithful, because I do love my gear. Again, I'm doing some of this out of order just to sort of speed things up, and I will not be reading the story section of the investigations, so I won't spoil anything there. It's a little bit of a small paragraph, but again, for the sake of time, We're just going to sort of speed through, get to the gameplay, get into the meat and potatoes of the mechanics. If you are curious, though, we are currently in the vision phase, so typically this is where we would choose a questing player. One really cool change they made since the prototype is not everyone is going to be working towards their main quest at once. If you are playing with other players, only one of those players will be working towards their main quest. The rest of them will have to choose either investigations or free roaming, which is just pretty much being able to play the game, still progress your character with loot and experience and other stuff, but not progress any story-related aspects. Because investigations are still story-related. They still flesh out your character, still open up the broader view of sort of what they're all about, what they're doing around the kingdoms. Next up, the questing player would get their one Sigh of Grawl, which essentially is the retry mechanic in the game. Aeon Trespass Odyssey had something similar. So if you lose a clash or something like that, you could spend a Sigh of Grawl and redo that fight. The questing leader automatically becomes the party leader. If there is no quester, though, then the players decide who will become the party leader for the expedition. I will obviously be that because I'm the only player here. This is when we would also read our story stuff. The questing player would read their story paragraphs. Players going on their investigations would read their investigation paragraphs, and then each character and each player would draw their clue cards. So clue cards are going to be directing us to which colored clues, whether it be the errant or the green clues, the martial or red clues, mystic or blue clues, or historic or yellow clues. I'm just going to be referring them to by their color from now on, just to make it easier to follow along. So this is going to be a random draw. The Squires will also still draw a clue card because they will still be trying to solve their own things. They have their own goals and their own drives. And they can actually utilize those clues later on for not only using bonuses on the weapons or on their metal cards, which we'll get into later, but they can also use their excess clues to unlock new metal cards, which are essentially their version of rolling dice or resolving random effects. Because the Squires do not roll dice, they have a deck of what are called metal cards, which I'll pull out here. Give those a shuffle before the delve. All right, so we'll draw one for Celia, we'll draw one for Rayloff, for Bianca, and for myself. So everyone has a primary clue. This is going to be the main one you're getting. You want both of them to actually resolve and complete your objective. So the number underneath dictates how many of each clue you need. So you need 3 primary, 3 secondary. To determine your secondary clue, you look to the person to your right. Since we're on the far right side, we will just look to the person over here. So we are looking towards Celia's primary clue, so our secondary clue will end up being a green clue. And then you continue that. Let us turn off these toggles, by the way. Sort of wish they didn't have them on by default, because it makes it a little bit more awkward. All right, so we are looking for green clues. Celia is looking for Rayloff's primary clue, which is going to be yellow. And Rayloff is looking for Bianca's main clue, which is going to be a red clue. And then last but not least, Bianca is looking for my clue, which is going to be a mystic clue. So everyone will essentially start with one as well. So you use one of these clues to actually mark which color you're looking for, and this does count towards your total count. So we only need 2 more secondary clues to complete our objective. Awesome. So we've done our clue cards. We would now choose our destination kingdom. Usually the quest giver will actually specify which kingdom they need to be doing for their main quest. We would set that up as well as choose our monsters and everything like that. So in terms of setting up our kingdom, in the kingdom book, it'll have the kingdom's outposts, their random events in their thing, which, special rules you need to follow. Again, we're not going to be reading over every single thing here. For our starting tile, though, because we aren't following a specific quest, we need to grab the long, small 1, 5, and 7 tiles, and we'll randomly choose one of those to be our starting tile. Now, the long, small tiles are the Sunken Kingdom specific tiles, so these will not be available in every single kingdom. So we'll roll a dice. 1 to 3 will be 1, 4 to 6 will be Sunken Kingdom, and 7 to 9 will be this one right over here. And then if we get a 10, we'll just re-roll. All right, we got a 10. Hopefully we can roll that well for the rest of the game. All right, we got a 3, so this will be our starting tile. The rest of these will go back because we will need those later on. Whoop, let's not throw it around. We'll orient it properly. We'll get our party tracker, place that on here, and we're probably going to explore left maybe. Now, once you flip over a tile and you look at their icons, I really love the design change and how they changed it. It's so much more readable. I also do like how they removed the clues that you get from going to specific paths and attaching it to a more randomized and interesting way of looking at the top of the exploration card and seeing which direction you travel in and getting those clues instead. We'll also give this a little bit of a shuffle as well. So once you flip over a tile, you do need to get the respective tiles that are listed. Again, these little notches and sort of how the little icon is, that is reflective of the size of the card over here. So you can see this 2 over here is actually going to be a large 2. Also, I don't know if it's because it was the Principality of Stone in the first prototype demo, but I do like how the kingdom has a set layout almost, where you do have to connect the tiles properly where they're matching up to the previous tile, because prevents dead ends and random weirdness, because I'm guessing that was part of the Principality of Stone, though, because that was the whole shtick, is the kingdom's always changing, because having to worry about dead ends and getting trapped and stuff like that was quite scary. And it's just much easier to plan out the table space for this one, since it's all set up nice and connected. All right, so we have all of our tiles set up. We would also determine which monsters we are fighting, potentially during the encounters and clashes. Encounters are sort of mini combat scenarios where if a monster ends up on the exploration phase or the delve phase and it's chasing you on the tile board, if you end up meeting it, then you will encounter an encounter, which again are one round combats that are sort of like mini game puzzles, and clashes are the larger fights in the game. So the demo has 3 monsters available. We have the White Ape Troll, the First Man Warriors, and the Winged Nightmare. If we were playing with more monsters, or potentially seeing which monsters we would be using and what difficulty level, we would check to see on the questers page who has the lowest check mark. You would mark this board as you complete quests and investigations. You look to see which one is the lowest, and you would actually draw a line through, and you would match up the monster board. The line that it's drawn through actually dictates which level of monsters you are including in the fight and which ones, which is a really, really cool way of doing things. Again, this the page layout is a work in progress. So this is not finalized. But let's say, for example, I mean, there is no chapter 2 in this demo, but let's say we were at this point in our travels. We would draw a line through, and you'd see that we would be using the level 1 White Ape Troll, but we would be using the level 2 First Man Warriors and level 2 Winged Nightmare. We'll also mark a box to show that we are going on our first investigation. Forgot to do that earlier, and if it's successful, we will end up marking these boxes to check those ones off. Cool. Alrighty, let's, I think we can get started. Yeah, vision phase is done. That's all set up. Oh, we do need to actually start randomize these tokens. We'll just spin those around, and I'll just rotate them so I don't know where they go, because they go on the kingdom card, which you can see at the top there. And these show where the monsters which district they'll be in. So we have the First Man Warriors in the Drowned District, the White Ape Troll in the Mud District, and the Winged Nightmare in the Marsh District. This can rotate and change as the exploration phase goes on. As I drink some water here, we are doing this in real time. No edits on this one. We're just going to do it loose and dirty. And it also dictates, for example, if we have to trigger an encounter in a current district, we would look to see which district we're in. Each of these tiles has the district icon in the top left, as well as on the backs of them, you can see which district you are heading into to sort of plan ahead. But we would refer to this to see which monster we're actually fighting, whether it be triggering an encounter or triggering a clash. All right, we are done with the vision phase. We can move on to the outpost phase. Now, the outpost phase is essentially where we get to prepare ourselves for the expedition. Each kingdom will have its own outpost with its own various locations to visit. Now, we can visit any number of these as we want to. However, the first one we visit will actually give us a little bit of a bonus, which is the early bird bonus listed here. So for, I think we are going to choose the inn. I think it's always the best way to choose in the demo just because you don't have any gold to start off with, so you can't really hire any mercenaries or get any gear anyways. And we could choose draw a loot card. We would gain X gold, where X is the gold denoted on the card for that tier, and then we return that card to the loot deck. Now, I don't believe, I believe the Squires only count as knights for clashes and for fights. I'll have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Because normally when you get gold, only you get the gold. So if any Squire for some reason gets gold, the knight gets the gold. Which I don't know if that works here. I mean, it could. We could draw a loot card and I could just end up getting like 8 gold rather than starting with 2, but I feel like that's not intended because I don't believe you can actually pool your gold together to purchase stuff together. I didn't see anything like that in the book. Again, I don't know every single rule. I've tried to familiarize myself with the rules as much as possible, but as you are familiar with the games like this is a big game, and there will still be stuff that I might have to end up looking because I haven't seen the whole demo yet either. Alrighty, so I think I would honestly rather have some stats, to be honest, but I think maybe we can't. It would be sort of awkward not to count Squires as knights here because there's a lot of stuff to increase stats here. And the Squires are essentially underpowered knights. So it might be worth it just to count them as knights in this case. And I guess if I'm playing by myself, like supercharging myself with gear, I think is reasonable as a balance thing because from what I've played, the Squires are much worse knights because they don't get any abilities. They get limited amount of heroic arc, limited inherent abilities, and their heat limit starts at 2, which is rough. They also don't get any gear. You actually have to lend them gear. And because you don't start with any gold, you don't start with any excess gear. If this is your first time playing the demo and you follow the rules as written, they all just have knives and they all just have unarmed combat, and unarmed combat is not very good. So we're essentially playing on hard mode here. I'm making things a little bit easier by doing some house ruling stuff, but whatever makes the game more fun is what I say. But if anyone does know the actual rules, definitely let me know in the comments below. So we are going to draw a loot card. We're going to just get some gold. We'll try to superpower it myself, and also show how this works. So there's a loot deck here. In the loot deck, there are various grades or classifications of loot. So you have full clash loot, which of course are the rewards that you get only from completing a full clash. Exhibition clash for those ones. And there's kingdom gear, which are just generalized gear specific to the kingdom. So there's 4 of those. There's 4 consumable gear, and these essentially when the game tells you to like scavenge or to get specific types of loot to the loot deck, you will create a loot deck as you do your expedition, and then at the end of the expedition during the spoils phase, you'll actually choose what to keep and what to cash in for like rewards or potentially just the gold reward. So we are also on the mob tier, which is the lowest tier of difficulty for the game. And so we'll shuffle these together and see what we get. Hopefully not the consumable gear, because that is only 1. However, we do include these ones. So if we get the full clash or the exhibition clash, we'll get a lot of gold. So we'll shuffle those there. And we get the consumable gear. So we only get 1 gold. Again, we're going to be playing with the knights as if they were Squires as if they were knights. So since they are getting gold, we will just get their gold. So we'll get 4 gold total. We'll just write that in the notes thing. The actual character sheet will have a spot for your gold, but the demo does not. All right, so we have visited the inn. So now we can visit the mercenary guild or the merchant workshop. I think we're going to visit the merchant workshop. We don't have any consumable gear, but I could get like a piece of armor, for example. So the merchant has anything that's unlocked from consumable gear, as well as the merchant gear, weapons and armor. So we do have some stuff that's listed 3 here. The crude axe here is actually the starting weapon for Fleischritter, but it is still considered merchant gear. So if you aren't playing with Fleischritter, for example, this is technically in the merchant gear pool, which is nice. So anyone can use it. We have some armor here. So this type of armor, if you look this red square or this dice, this shows how many power dice you roll when you get hit. And for every chalice symbol, you reduce the damage by 1. Whereas this is a little bit more evasive armor, where this little icon shows that you get an evasion dice reroll for free. And the Rusted Shield can act as a weapon because it does come with weapon stats, but it comes with the ability that we can spend a heat to exhaust it and do guard 1, which I actually don't know what that does off the top of my head. I'm assuming it can block a hit. What alternatively, we can also upgrade gear that we already have. You can only upgrade merchant gear. You look to the other side of them. All the starting weapons for the knights are considered merchant gear, so they have an upgraded side as well. So you could spend the cost in the bottom left to just reforge it to its upgraded version permanently. So we could upgrade this to the Officer's Morgenstern, where the only benefit here is we would get break 2 rather than break 1, which is not like super necessary, I don't think, especially for the early stuff. We don't get any... Oh no, we do get an extra power dice. I lied. That is actually pretty good. So I think maybe I'll just do that, because hitting with more power dice, the better chance to wound and the faster fights will go. And I feel like I will have to carry these Squires, because they are lowly Squires. I could also... you know what? Let's just, balls to the wall. Let's play a more offensive game. We are Paracelsa. We are going to purge this kingdom of heathens. So we're going to spend our 4 gold. We'll upgrade that officers to Officer's Morgenstern. We'd also write in our armory, so we know which gear that we have. And then we will end the Outpost Phase. We do have a couple of extra things that we could have done. So, for example, we could go to do the notice board to sign a contract, which are extra side missions that we can do as we explore the kingdom. If we had a devotion token, we could use it to unlock a chosen saints card, which are essentially extra ways to gain benefits. If you are in dire situations, you can invoke a saint if you have them unlocked. You do unlock your first saint by dying first. That's why the night sheet in the demo does have the first death card or checkmark unlocked, because they want you to sort of start with this unknown saint, which apparently you do get during your very first death. And then each knight prepares their gear cards, talents, arcs, and techniques for this expedition, and place the party marker on the kingdom start tile. Again, we've sort of done things a little bit out of order, but that's okay. Now, I do have to, because Paracelsa only has a hand limit of 4, we do have to discard a card and not go with it. I think we are going to get rid of our Zealous Charge, because there's not a time where we will even have a Zealous token, so that's probably the least useful. So these will go into our hand. We are going to be starting with the Delve phase, so these will flip over to their Delve side. They're just one-time use ability, or they're abilities that we can use during the Delve, and they will still have to go into the respective cooldown piles. We'll get to those later when it happens, but they give us just bonuses during the Delve, but they're dual-sided, so if they are in the discard pile, when you start your fight, you'll have to wait until they actually refresh and come back to your hand to actually get them back. So you definitely be wary of how you use them. All right, I think we are ready to start. Again, this is also where we would have to give Squires gear. Excuse me. Water. Because again, we don't have any starting gear, so they would normally just be fighting with knives. I think that's a little bit... the game's already hard enough. I don't want to make it super hard mode, because if you were playing with other knights, they would have starting gear, so why not the Squires, is what I say. So we're going to give Bianca a crude bow. These are just the starting weapons that the other knights would typically be using. We'll give Rayloff the shoddy pitchfork, and we'll give Celia the broken sword. Now, they do not use any of the stats on the weapons, so they don't use the dice that's plus precision to hit or the power dice listed. They only utilize the abilities listed on the card and the little icons here that denote which potential bonuses they can use by spending clues when they do a wound or potentially to hit. So again, they are a lot weaker in that sense as well. All their heat limit is at 2, so we can just get started. So we can start with the Delve phase. So the Delve phase consists of multiple steps that just keep going until you trigger a clash. Do the travel step, kingdom tile step, exploration step, and then the story step. So the travel step, we determine which direction we are going into. Again, we can refer to the top of the exploration deck to see which direction, which clue we would get by going that direction. The larger the tile, the more clues you would get. On the back of the tile, it denotes what number tile it is and what size. how much time you gain, how much threat you gain, what a deep fog threshold is, we'll get to that later, and how many clues you get by going to that tile, and also which district you are heading into. I also need to get some tokens here, or some cubes. So these go on the Delve tracker. At the very top lists how much curse we have. If we have 4 curse and we get our 5th curse, we instantly lose. Also, higher curse is bad. If we get to our last amount of threat, I'm guessing we also lose. We don't have the storybook, so we don't know what 6666 triggers when you get to 9 threat, but it's probably nothing good. As you move through as well, if there are any monsters on the Delve board that are sort of chasing you around, when you get to these little paw markers, you'll move them 1 space or 2 space towards you respectively. The very first time you get to 7 threat, though, you will instantly spawn an encounter in an adjacent tile by you. So be wary of that. This also triggers whether you're raising or lowering your threat. Not the spawning, that only happens the very first time you get to that point. But when it comes to moving them around, let's say I was at 5 threat. If I reduce my threat for any reason, it would actually trigger the movement of the monster. So got to be wary about that. For time, this is just essentially how many turns we've spent. There are ways to potentially artificially increase time or maybe even decrease time in other kingdoms. But once we get to 8, we will trigger the first fight, or the first main fight, which is the Exhibition Clash, which is generally a slightly easier fight. We'll have a rest phase, and then we will go and continue doubling on until we get to 16, which we will have our full clash, and then essentially the expedition will end there. And hopefully not sooner. Alrighty, so I am looking for blue and green clues. If we go north, we get a green clue. If we go south, we get a blue clue. I could also potentially randomly get that clue if I go left, because the larger the tile, the more clues we get, but the more threat we accumulate. When you do decide to, I mean, let's just go left just so I can show how the mechanic works. We'll go left. When you move onto a tile, you resolve the back of it first. So we get 1 threat, we get 2, we get 1 time, we get 2 threat, and we'll get 2 clues. Now, the first clue that we get is going to be dictated by the direction we move in. So we will get a red clue, and everyone who is looking for that clue will get a red, required clue. So this means that Bianca gets her red clue, but also Rayloff gets one of his red clues. Now to see what the other clues are, because we do get 2 clues, for the rest of the clues, they are randomized. So we look at the top of the Mortis deck, and this deck determines random directions in the game. So we draw the top one, we look to the bottom right to see what the direction we imagine ourselves going in. So we look to the right, and if we had gone right, we would actually get a yellow clue, of course, not one of the clues I need. So everyone also gets that respective clue as well. All right, so Rayloff and Salia are getting their clues. I am being left behind. I'm the party leader. I should be getting all the clues. So that determines random directions in the game. That goes for any random direction that the game calls for. And then this card does get put to the bottom of the deck. I sort of wish that the deck was just shuffled, but it is what it is. I guess you can sort of rememorize it potentially. All right, and then we flip the tile over. We match up. So the tile that we left on was long, small, number 1. So you can see the long, small, number 1 thing here. You can match things up so it lands perfectly. Alrighty, and then you resolve anything on the front side. So we have a point of interest here. There is also the name for the large and the extra large tiles. They're typically named. I'm guessing that'll come into play when it comes to main quests or certain story events where it'll ask you, like, if you're in the guild hall, then X happens. But we resolve this point of interest, and the point of interests are listed on the kingdom board. Sometimes it'll give you a number instead of, which is a number associated with this symbol here. We would potentially randomly draw or look at the top of the exploration card. There would be a number on there. We would add the numbers together, and then you would resolve the point of interest. But this one is specifically calling for a name. So we got to resolve tension in the air. Resolve a kingdom adventure. So kingdom adventures are the random events in the kingdom. The demo only has 5 of them listed. You roll a D100 to see which one you resolve. A D100 is simply rolling a white dice and a black dice. The white dice is the 10 spot. The black dice is the 1 spot. If you do get the Double 0, that counts as 100. So we will have 68 is our Kingdom Adventure. I hope the full game has more, because I do remember the earlier prototype version having quite a few Kingdom Adventures. I hope there's more in the full version. I love these types of things. So what was it? 68 is what we got. So we are resolving Shrine of Remembrance. Some of them are unique, so if you do encounter the unique ones, you check off that box, and that means you cannot resolve the ones later on. If you do happen to get a repeat number, just re-roll the dice until you get something that you haven't gotten before. So Shrine of Remembrance. A marble structure rises from the gloom ahead. Unlike the other surrounding buildings, this one's walls are utterly pristine. Radiant with alabaster perfection. A gate has been drawn across this entrance, barring the way inside. The mud and slime of the sunken kingdom simply halts at the threshold, as if denied. You try to approach, but something resists you, a growing weight in your limbs that threatens to drag you to the ground. Every thought of entry burdens you immensely, and the desire to turn around and retreat grows more and more urgent. So each knight has to test tenacity or might with a difficulty check of 9+, meaning that's the number you have to meet or beat to have a success, including all your bonuses, because we do have different virtues. Because it calls for tenacity or might, we can choose which one we want to test. We have +2 to our tenacity, so obviously we want to choose that one. If Paracelsa is in our party, that is me, she may spend 1 zeal token, to add +1 to all knights tests. Unfortunately, I do not have any zeal tokens. We don't start with any, but we do have to roll dice. Now, again, the Squires do not roll any dice, and they unfortunately do not have any stats with them, so they don't get any bonuses. They just have to roll natural 9s. Again, you can sort of see why playing with Squires is hard mode. Yeah, I'll talk about sort of what I think about the Squires afterwards. Now, this is we require group successes, so 0 to 2 successes, something bad probably happens, and 3+ successes, something good probably happens. So we'll roll our dice. We get +2. Oh, now before I do this, actually, I can delete this so I don't count it as my roll. Oh, I don't want my power dice. Oh, did I get rid of my... Oh, no, here we go. Whew. I thought I got rid of the dice permanently. One thing to check for is you do have delve cards that can potentially influence this. So let's just look at ours. All right, Knight Prowess. When you are about to perform a virtue test or an adventure roll, we can gain 1 heat, which is a cost that you can see at the top there, to add +1 to the result. We'll might as well talk about how these cards work as well. Is in the top left, you'll notice a little icon there. That is called the warm-up bonus. Whenever you use a delve card, you automatically gain this bonus right here, and that would put an opening token into the knight pool right away, which are cooperative tokens that you can use to boost your attack or boost your ability to wound. And this would essentially power up our first attack for any fight. So again, hence the warm-up name. You'll also notice little markers here. This denotes if we had unlocked this difficulty on our knight sheet. Again, the further that you get in your chapters, the harder the game is going to get. It increases the tier of difficulty you're in. If we are on king difficulty, it unlocks all of these abilities on all of our cards. So it just makes it sort of helps balance it out, makes your cards better. And then this denotes which discard pile we would put it in. In this case, we would put it into the cooldown pile. If it has the sleeping with the card, ZZZ, we put that in the delay. And it's sort of a 2-step process in how cards refresh, where cards from the delay have to go to the cooldown first before the cooldown cards go back to your hand. So I think it's unlikely that my knights can even accomplish this with getting a 9+ naturally and no bonuses, because I don't even think there's enough cards in there, because they only, so when it comes to tests, I believe they just treat the cards as their role as well. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Yeah, whenever a Squire would perform a test, draw a card from the metal deck, the roll value is your result, which is awkward, because I don't believe they refresh, because normally you only reshuffle the Squire card if you after you're done the Squire action, if there is the critical success or the critical chance card in the deck. And I'll draw those out so you can see what they look like. So there's a critical miss, just like we can critically miss and critically succeed. If either of these are in the discard pile, once you complete your action, then you actually take all the cards and you reshuffle them. So let me just, because I'm just curious, how many 9s are in this deck? So there's one here. Because if you think about it, there's another one there. If there are not 3... If there's not enough 9s, then it can be really difficult. All right, there's a 10 there. Okay, so it is possible if we get extremely lucky. A crit chance also counts as a success. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 cards have the potential to make us succeed. But of course, if one draws one, that is less for the others to draw. Okay. So that works. Because if there weren't enough to even get like 2 successes, then it'd be impossible for us to get the 3+ successes with Squires. All right, so let's shuffle those up. We will draw. Let's do the Squires first, actually. Let's draw for Salia. Salia gets the crit chance. Hell yeah. All right, so that's 1 success. Way to go, Salia. Because it's the crit chance, we shuffle it back. We shuffle the discard pile back into the deck. Rayloff gets an 8. Unfortunately, that is going to be a miss. If only I had a Zeal token, that would have made everyone get +1. Oh, we do leave that out because it's not a crit miss or a crit chance. All right, Bianca needs to have this be a success. And she gets the crit chance. Oh boy. Well, this is much better than when I did my test play. Everyone failed their stuff. Since that was a crit chance, this gets shuffled back in. So it's all up to me this time. All pressure's on me. So we have our 2 successes. We need 3+ to get the good thing, or quote-unquote good thing. It might not even be good. All right, so let's shuffle. We get +2 because we have +2 tenacity. That is going to be a 4. Is +2 is 6. That is a fail. But because this is a test, we can spend a heat to re-roll. That does also account for. That does also work for Rayloff. Rayloff could have spent a heat to redraw, but because they only get 2 heat and it's really difficult for them to refresh because they only get 1 refresh, I really want to utilize their heat a little bit more efficiently. All right, so we'll spend a heat. We'll re-roll this dice. Now this is a test still, because it does say test tenacity or might. The game might ask you to just roll and see a result. You cannot re-roll those with heat. You can only re-roll our evasion rolls, attack rolls, and test rolls. So let's re-roll and hope for a 7 on the dice. There's a 7. 7 plus our 2 tenacity is 9. That's going to be a success. So we got our 3+ successes. Breaking through the invisible barrier is almost like cutting through a wall of flesh. You feel it press in around you, warm and discomforting, but trudge onwards, finally emerging into the courtyard of the marble structure. There you see a statue, not dissimilar to that of a human, but shorn of that of a neck at the neck. To one side, the remains of an angular helm carved in ivory marble lie shattered. You'd think it the design of a saint's helm, were the building not far older than the First Crusade. All about the defaced statue, viciously vandalized with red dye and green slime, tiny effigies have been arrayed, woven from ape hair and mud. Ritualistic in nature, but the purpose is unclear. So, a knight in the party may devote to a chosen saint you have unlocked. All other knights may gain +1 passion. If Paracelsus spent a zeal token for this test placed... Oh, unfortunately we did not, because we didn't have any. Cool. Well, that's really cool. Well, I guess we will can devote to our saint, our unknown saint here. So this is the incarnate value. I believe, again, this is actually the first time I've done this, so I'm a little bit unfamiliar with the rules. I think I'll double check. Maybe I will do some editing on this. I'll cut the video. Actually, no, we'll keep it loose and raw. Why not? I'll look quickly to see what the saints actually do. They're sort of similar, I know, to the transformations in Ant Trespass Odyssey, where if you are in great peril, you can roll a dice and potentially become those transformations, or in this case, become the saint or get empowered by the saint. So we can look for incarnation. There was something about the unknown saint there, which is what we have, but I believe that just tells us, like, on our first death, we unlock the unknown saint. All right, 69, nice. All right. incarnate. When you're about to die during a clash, you can make an incarnation roll. You roll a dice. If your roll is higher or equal to the incarnation value of your saint, you incarnate. If you have 5+ devotion tokens, you automatically succeed instead. So when you incarnate, you chain break, stand up, and discard up to 2 Bane tokens and any condition cards. Then you can immediately move X spaces, where X is 2 plus the amount of your devotion tokens, and perform a bonus attack. And you get all additional bonuses noted on the Holy Incarnation until the end of your next turn. Then the incarnation ends, and once it ends, your knight does not die. So it's a way to get out of death as well as get a bonus attack with a bunch of bonuses. When the incarnation ends, or if you finish the clash while incarnated, you lose the saint card and all of your devotion tokens, and you cannot incarnate outside of clashes. And if you don't manage to incarnate, you do not lose your saint card, but you must reduce the number of your devotion tokens to 1. If you only had 1, then you lose the saint card instead. So you have to be faithful enough to them and, you know, keep devoting to them to actually succeed. So in our case, we have to roll a natural 10 when we're about to die to get the bonus, but we would get an extra flat power to potentially wound. Cool. Alrighty. And then everyone else gets 1 passion, which is very, very cool. So passion is essentially the way that you power up during the fights, and you can see it correlates to the heroic arc, which we have 1 as well, where you get a cumulative bonus as your passion goes up. It also dictates who has the priority target token. If you attack and you have the highest passion, you automatically gain the priority target token. Alrighty, that resolves our Kingdom Adventure. So a lot going on there. We'll also grab our required tile. So we need a small number 2, which goes there. And we need a medium number 4, which we'll just put like this. And we need a medium number 7. So that was our travel step. Now we have to resolve our exploration phase, which is going to be resolving an exploration card. So we draw the top card and we resolve it. This is going to be, they can be either district effects, instant effects, or active effects. So this is a district effect. Also one thing we forgot to do for the large tile is the kingdom mechanic. So if we explore a long, small, large, or extra large kingdom tile, we have to place a surge token onto the kingdom board. If we are going to place a surge token here and there's already 1, we have to upgrade it to the flood token. And then when we encounter this symbol, which is a little wave symbol, we sink. So we place all of the flood tokens currently on the kingdom board, and we place them to random tiles connected to our current tile. If we have to move, or if we move onto a tile with a flood token on it, we gain an extra threat. One of our random characters gets slimed as well. And I think that's it. Yes, and if there's more than 1 flood tile on them, they spread out to other tiles around that one. So it keeps going. So we definitely want to try and manage that as much as possible. We did encounter the sink symbol. However, there's only surge tokens. They haven't upgraded to a flood token yet, so we don't move those yet. Place this card in your district area at the end of the delve round. 1 knight may gain a heat or suffer cooldown. If they don't, we have to place a flood token on our current kingdom tile. Oof. And that is a district effect, so that goes into whatever district we're currently in. We are in the mud district, so that stays there. You can have multiple district effects in play in the same district, so they will stack. Whereas if you have an active exploration effect, which is sort of similar, it stays there until it's resolved. You can only have 1 of those in play. Alrighty, so at the end of the delve round, which we are on, we have our story phase, which at the end of each move, we would check to see if we have to trigger certain story events. So if, for example, we had something where it's like, if you're in the guild hall, read the story passage, we would do that now. This is where we would also check to see if we are at 8 or 16 time respectively and trigger those clashes or those fights. But we have none of those, so we just go back to the top of the round. So we start with the travel step. Again, I need my blue and my green clues. So if we go either east or we can't go north. So if we go east, we will get a clue here. So I think we'll do that. We're still doing all right on threat. So let us gain a time, gain 1 threat. And we'll get our green clue, which is right here. We'll get our second one, and Celia will get her primary green clue. We'll flip that over. We'll match these up to the respective tiles. We'll lock that in place. So here are a couple of new things. So this little icon here is considered a cipher. So this is irrelevant for the demo, but for the full story and the full book, once you get your storybooks, you'll have a cipher in your book where you'll try to match up the code, essentially, to unlock special things, unlock secret events. And so that's essentially how that worked. I think it's fairly similar to how some things worked in ATO. And then this is another point of interest, but unlike the one where it names a point of interest, we will take this number here. We will look at the top of the exploration card, so we can sort of get a little sneak peek as well what's going on. We add this number in the top left. In this case, it's just 0. So it's going to be number 2. And then we look to see what the sum is and do that point of interest. So we got signs of struggle. So we get a scavenge 1. So we get to look at the loot deck. We get to choose either kingdom gear, consumable gear, not clash gear, or upgrade gear. And we can choose one of those to put into our loot deck. I like so these are pretty straightforward. Upgrade gears, obviously, to cash in for gear for upgrades for your armor and weapons. Consumable gear unlocks more consumable gear to purchase later on. And then kingdom gear is just general gear for that kingdom. I think we'll do kingdom gear because that's more interesting, I think. And we'll get more gear potentially in the future. So this starts our loot deck. So we can start a separate pile here. And then again, at the end of the expedition, we'll look to our loot pile and start cashing things out. So if we had Scavenge 2, we could draw 2 cards and put them into our deck. But it's free loot, which is fantastic. All right, loot 1. So we resolved the front of the card, and now we are in the exploration phase. Also, we forgot to do this. My bad. So one knight may gain a heat or suffer a cooldown. We can have to place a flood token on our current kingdom tile. We might end up backtracking here. I really don't like gaining heat. Again, we're just going to classify Squires as knights in this case. Again, I don't really know I can't remember if they're just specifically for fights, but we'll say no, because otherwise it makes it way too difficult, because then I have to take on all the heat and all the bad things. All right, who do we want to gain a heat? You know what, Rayloff, you can get a heat. Because they also don't have technique cards to spend on heat, so it's not as imperative for them. All right, we'll look and see. We need a long, small 3. I'm going to have to... I definitely went the wrong direction here. Let's move our whole board up, because we're probably going to continue down this way. We need more room. All right. And, one icon I did not mention is here. The little double arrows here, this dictates a shortcut. So it shows how you can shortcut to other tiles and, like, things that aren't connected to this tile. However, by default, you aren't able to use the shortcuts. You need specific gear to actually use them. So we cannot go this way. We cannot use it. Alrighty, let's resolve an exploration card. Sunken Sentry. Place this card in the active effects area. Resolve an encounter on the next long, small, or large kingdom tile you explore. If you succeeded in the encounter, we get to remove a flood token from the closest kingdom tile, then discard this card. Well, if I had known well, technically I would have actually known that. Oh, actually, no, I wouldn't have. Never mind. I technically would have known this from seeing the point of interest, but it would have been after we had done this. And then discard this card. Now, there are these little icons. If we had 7 or more curse, which we do not, we would additionally gain, 7 or more threat, then we would have to gain a curse, which is very, very good that we don't have that. So you can sort of see why having high threat is bad. Alrighty, well, we are potentially going on to so again, we have the story phase, nothing happens here. We do have a long, small thing here. And, we are getting pretty high threat, I would say. Well, not really, but I think maybe I'll just do it just to trigger it and show you how the encounters work. Also, I may make some cuts here, because I'm not going to be, at least at the time of this recording, I'm not going to be able to record everything in one go, because, again, this game is long as fuck. So if you hear any cuts in the music and weird cuts like that, then that is why I will have to do some editing anyways, which I did not realize, but I realized I do not have time to fully complete this. All right, let me get some water, because, again, I'm getting super dry mouth. Spent almost an hour of non-stop talking, and I'm recording this, like, pretty much right after I wake up, so. All right, so let us move on to a new tile. So, yeah, we're going to go here. we'll trigger the encounter, but we will resolve the back and everything like that first of the card. So we will, yeah, because I think it is. We'll go back to the travel stuff. Because I think the encounters are resolved sort of similar to the Clash, where you should sort of check to see at the end of the delve round. Oh no, it's in the Kingdom Tile step. Okay, so resolving after we do the backside of stuff. Okay, so we gain 1 time, we lose a threat though. I've only moved 3 times, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. And we lose a threat. We don't get any clues though, so that's a downside to the smaller tiles, but we get to reduce our threat. We flip this over. We'll look to see. This is number 5, so it actually goes like this. Match that up. Which means this tile probably goes like this, because this is the 7 that has to connect there. No points of interest. Typically the smaller tiles and stuff like that will not have anything to do. But we do need a medium 8 and a medium 6. There's our 6, and there's our 8. If you're also wondering, I'm looking at the first number, not the number in brackets, to grab the appropriate tile. So there's nothing to resolve on the back, or sorry, the front, which means we can resolve our encounter. So we look to see which district we're in. We are currently in the Marsh District, so we are going to be fighting the Winged Nightmare in this encounter. So each encounter, or each monster has an encounter card, so you can grab this as well as their figurine. And then you have to look and grab the encounter boards. Now, it's dictated the size of them. There's 3 different sizes. We need the 5x3 side, or 5x3 thing, in the TTS demo that is in this box here. So 5x3 is going to be the smallest board here. It can go all the way up to the Vassal and King and Devil tier boards, which get larger, and then even there's a whole separate board for fighting dragons on the encounter board, which I'm super excited about, and also extremely terrified. So we place the board here. Now, the encounters can come in 2 different forms, whether it be encounter fights that you just trigger yourself or through normal means, or they can be ambushes. Ambushes are bad because you have to spawn your characters first, and then the monster spawns afterwards, and the whole idea is essentially both sides get 1 round of combat, and they want to kill as much as possible or damage as much as possible. We're not really killing them here, we're just sort of chasing them away. The monster, you can see here, it denotes which spaces it's going to attack when it's after it spawns. It does go first, and so you can sort of see why spawning our characters on the board is bad first, because then the monster can position itself to hit, because it wants to hit the most things as possible and to do the most amount of damage. But we get to spawn first, so how that works is each knight, or in this case knight and squire, will roll a dice. We also do need to bring our markers here, because we also need to be placed on the board. And the matching symbols on the power dice, or the red dice, will denote which spaces we can spawn onto. So we'll just go like this. We'll roll our dice. All right, so both myself and Ciela get a sword symbol, or a power symbol. The Bianca gets a chalice, and Rayloff gets a hope. For the encounters, you ignore the hope symbol, so that is just going to be counted as a blank. I don't know if you actually just count it as a blank, but in this case, just to speed things up, we'll count it as a blank. I guess you could also just re-roll until you get something appropriate. So you can choose what order people spawn in. You cannot move during this encounter. The whole process is essentially the monster is going to attack, and then all of us will get to attack or help, do the help action, which means whatever symbol they're currently standing on, they get to provide tokens, similar to how you provide tokens in the clashes, to boost up the next person's attack. So they can either provide the help action or they can attack, because not everyone might be in range to attack the monster, because again, you cannot move during this. It's simply monster attacks, we attack. We need a certain amount of wounds or a certain amount of scrapes to count as a success. We can get a partial success, or if we don't get anything, we fail. And if we get critical scrapes, we get to scavenge one. The number in the top left here is the number that we have to hit them. with a successful attack, and the number underneath is the armor threshold, which means the amount of power symbols we need to accumulate or beat to actually count as a successful wound or a successful scrape. All right, so the monster is going to spawn. They also need to roll a dice. So the Winged Nightmare is going to be choosing a sword and chalice, so it could spawn in these 3 spaces. She does want to hit the she wants to position herself where she can hit the most things as possible, though. So I think we'll probably go like this. The monster technically was supposed to roll first. I shouldn't have rolled here. So yeah, I think we'll place like this, because we cannot place like this because the front space is going to attack the front space and the back space, but we can't have that happen. So we'll have her face like this. Cool. And then now we get to spawn ourselves. So Bianca and Rayloff do have ranged weapons. So we can put Bianca right here, and she does have a chalice, so she can spawn there. Rayloff has a blank, so Rayloff unfortunately is not in a position to actually move. I think the darkened spaces are also not positionable, because this is technically a blank, which is unfortunate. You know what? We will actually double check something, because if we are actually supposed to re-roll hope symbols, then that's pretty important, because because if he's on a blank symbol, we actually don't get any bonuses if he does the help action, which is sad. All right. Ignore all hope symbols on the rolled dice. If there's no available space for the matching symbol, you must either remove that knight from the counter or place that knight on any space targeted by the monsters. Okay. So if we ignore them, then yes, I guess that does consider that to be a blank. All right. Well, at least I got it correct, which is nice. Let's see. Oh, also for the larger monsters, if you happen to have those, you roll 2 power dice and you try to match both those symbols underneath, because obviously they're bigger. So this would be two swords and a sword and a chalice. So for example, we would have to place our monster like this, because they're just too big. All right, well, Rayloff, I guess we're just going to put him here just so he doesn't get hit. But he is going to be completely useless, which is very, very sad. Very sad indeed. Yeah, because we don't want him to get hit. We'll have... Oh, shoot. What was Celia's? I think Celia got a double sword, right? I didn't realize I just grabbed the other one. Or was it a sword and a chalice? I think it was a double sword, wasn't it? I'm just going to say it was a double sword. I'm probably going to be wrong and people can correct me, but it's okay. I just want to speed this up. I think we just place her here. She's going to get hit, but she'll at least be able to attack there. And then we got a single sword, which is bad for us too, because we will only be able to provide the help action, which means we're going to have 2 people that can't attack, which means it's impossible for us. Actually, no, it is possible for us to get a double success. Okay. That's okay. We'll do the help action. All right, so the monster is going to do its action. It's going to attack, so it hits these 2 spaces. Celia will take a damage. We'll lose a vigor. And then now it's our turn. So I'm going to provide the help action. For every sword underneath you, you can provide an opening token. And for every chalice underneath you, you can provide a break token. We're going to grab an opening token and put it in the encounter pool. We'll have... I guess we'll have Celia attack first. Actually, no. Yeah, we'll have Celia go first. So Celia's going to attack. You still get to raise your passion as if you're attacking in a clash, which is really, really nice. So Celia is going to attack. Again, the Squires do not roll dice. So Celia, there's 1 opening token in the pool. Celia doesn't worry about the stats here, so she doesn't get +2 from the sword, which is sad. She just gets the +1 from the opening token. And we can see what happens. All right, so we'll draw a card. She rolls a 9. Hell yeah. So that's a 9 plus 1 is 10. That's going to be a hit because we only need 7+ to hit them. Now we need to roll another card to wound. Now, if you look at the metal cards, since we got the, I think it has to be matching, right? Spin a clue from this card to the symbol on corresponding. Okay. Yes. So if you have a clue, if the Squires have a clue that's matching the metal card, which Celia does, she has a historic clue, she could also spend that clue to get the precision or the power bonus listed on the card, so we could get +1 if we needed it, but we don't. So we hit, now we need to wound. So we need 4 power total. Again, we don't roll any power dice for the Squires. They just have an instance amount of power. They also still get potentials, where if there were break tokens, we can turn those break tokens into extra power, or those potentials into power with those break tokens. All right, so we got another, so we only got 3 power. We need 4 total. However, we can either spend clues to get extra bonuses via our gear cards if they're matching, or since we have a matching clue from our metal card, we can spend this historic token, which we will, because we really want this to go off, to add an extra power from this metal card and give us our 4 power for our successful attack and successful scrape against the monster. So there's our first scrape there. Awesome. And now we do get to leave tokens behind after we're done attacking. We clear the encounter pool, and then we leave our tokens behind. So our sword can leave 1 opening token, and because we're at our second heroic arc, we get to leave another one, and then we get to leave also a break token because it is a cumulative reward. So we get 2 opening tokens and 1 break token, which is very, very good. Alrighty, so let us leave. So let us go on to Bianca. So Bianca has a ranged weapon. She has a bow. It has to be within range 2 to 4, which it is. We are going to attack. Now, one interesting thing is weapons that have cumbersome. Normally, when you wound, if you successfully wound with a cumbersome weapon, you have to exhaust it, and then you have to spend a move action or a combat action to unexhaust your gear. However, interestingly enough, because we are not wounding them, we are only doing scrapes to them. We don't have to actually exhaust it, even if we are successful, which is really, really cool. All right, so we have not seen the crit chance or the crit miss in the deck pool or in the metal pool, so we still do not reshuffle it. So we get +2 because of 2 opening tokens. Ooh, we're going to Bianca rolling a 10, a natural 10. So +2, which is 12, which is definitely a hit. So then we can draw to wound. Ooh, this is not as good. So we have 1 break token, so we can turn one of those potentials into a power. We only have 1 power. So that's currently only 2. Even if we spend our Mystic token, because we do have a matching one, we would only get to 3. So unfortunately, that is going to be a fail because you cannot spend heat to reroll power dice or power draws. Or actually, maybe the Squires are different. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I guess this is sort of one benefit to Squires, is Squires can actually redraw with power. Normally, for knights, we have to get to a certain heroic arc level to actually do that, but looks like they can just do that automatically. So yeah, Bianca will spend a heat to redraw. And that is going to be a 4 power hit. Man, with the potential, that's a 5 power total. And we don't have any clues to spend, respectively, for the extra power, unfortunately. Because sometimes there are overcome effects where if you beat the threshold by a certain amount, you actually get an extra bonus. But that's still going to be a successful scrape. So that is our second scrape, and that's going to end the encounter. We look to see what success we got. We got 2 or more successes, so each knight may lose 2 heat, which is fantastic. So Bianca can lose her heat. Paracelsa, Rayloff, and Celia had not spent any heat. If we only had 1 success, though, 1 knight may have lost 2 heat. And if we failed, it would have been bad. Did not get any crits, though, so no scavenge 1. But overall, that is a huge success. All right, so our stuff goes back. Oop, not that board. Just the knight. All right, that was pretty smooth sailing by the Squires. Squires actually coming in clutch there, which they definitely do not normally do. And we'll put this board back as well. All right, I need a break. Alrighty, through the magic of editing, there was a quick cut there, but I have went and gotten some breakfast into me, got my tea, and feeling a little bit more refreshed to continue on our recording. So we finished off with just getting the encounter done. I did look back at my recording, and I did get my spawn placement wrong, so I'm going to fix that myself. I would have been only able to place Celia in a position where she actually would not have been able to attack, so it would have been impossible to get our max successes. So rather than everyone reducing their heat by 1, we will have Rayloff and Bianca get their heat back, and I will just have reduced my heat by 1. Or by 2, I guess. Because one knight was able to reduce their heat by 2, because I did keep the success from Bianca still hitting. Alrighty, and then we go back to the travel step and finish that off, where we end off with the exploration step. Yeah, that's all. The encounter, monster spawns, and movement have been done. Fighting has been done. Exploration, we need to resolve an exploration card for this area, I do believe. Make sure I'm not missing anything. I think so, right? Yeah. Yeah, because... Oh, wait, no. This was our exploration card. Yeah. Because we resolved this. This is where the encounter came from. Oh, wait. This is just by moving onto this. Never mind. I lied. So we still have to resolve an exploration effect. Overflow. So we have the sync symbol. This is just a surge token, so it is not a sync or flood token yet. Place 1 flood token on X kingdom tiles in your current district that already have a flood token, where X is your curse level. If X is 0, gain a curse instead. Well, I guess we are getting a curse. Would have rather have placed those flood tokens, though. Alrighty, and then we can get rid of this as well, because we resolved our encounter for this. If you succeed in the encounter, remove 1 flood token from the closest kingdom tile. There is none, unfortunately, and then we can discard this card. Technically, should have happened beforehand. Okie dokie. Well, let's continue on. So we can go east for a green clue. I do need that. I have no blue clues, though. Which we can go... We can't go... Oh, we can't go south. Let's go south. Gives us a little bit more room to maneuver as well. So we'll gain a time... Gain a threat. We'll get our mystic clue for going south. So Bianca gets theirs. I'll get mine. Finally getting started on our primary one. And then we will flip this over. This is tile number 3 small. So this will long small 3. So this will position like this. We need a 4 large and a long small 4. Long, small 4. Oh, maybe I'll end up going like that. And then a large 4. So if we do this one, we will need to get another surge token on the mat. And then we resolve, nothing to resolve on the front of the card. So then we resolve an exploration. Oh, we got to make sure to double check this. Oh yeah, so at the end of the last round, 1 knight has to gain a heat or suffer cooldown if they don't place a flood token on your current kingdom tile. You know, we're just going to place a flood token here. I don't want anyone to get any more heat, I don't think. Well, actually, no, we'll have Celia get a heat. She hasn't spent any yet. Still want to leave 1 for a possible reroll for them if they need it. All right, let's resolve an exploration card in our current kingdom district. Fog that follows. Place this card in your active effects area. Whenever you travel onto another kingdom tile, place a deep fog token on the path you came from. If you travel through a path with a deep fog token, or there are 3 deep fog tokens on the kingdom map, we have to discard this effect. So we're going to be creating deep fogs with us. I guess we'll end up showing off how that works up fairly soon here. Nothing else to go. So we can go to our large tile hill. We're going to get another surge token. At the end of this round as well, we have to trigger Disturbed Mire. I will choose to gain a heat this time because we did refresh earlier. So we want to keep as many flood tokens off the mat as long as possible. Unfortunately, we cannot get rid of that district effect for now. All right, back to the travel step. We are at 3 threats, so I don't feel like we need to reduce our threat too much right now. I think we will try and get some clues. Oh, wait, which way are we going? Oh, yeah, we'll get green clues if we go this way, which is fine because we do need our last green clue still, and we make it lucky and end up drawing a random direction for north so we can get a blue clue. So we get 1 time, we get 2 threat this time. I think I might play one of my cards, though, to make that a little bit not as bad. I think I am going to play this card. We're going to spend 2 heat. It is going to max out my heat, but we'll get some heat refresh back at the start. I think just managing our threat is just so important in these phases. So when we are about to gain at least 2 threat, we can lower that threat gain by 1, and it costs 2 heat. It goes into our delay pile because it has that ZZZ symbol, and we get the warm-up bonus in the top left, so we get to add a break token into the night pool ahead of time, which is very, very nice. We do have to place a deep fog token. Scale this down. We'll place a deep fog token on the path we came from. And then we can reduce our threat gain that we got by 1 instead. So we only get 1 threat rather than 2, which is always nice. And then we'll get our clue cards. So we get 1 for going south. We get a green clue. So we get our last secondary clue there. And Celia gets her second primary clue. And then we'll draw a Mortis card to see what the next one is. Please be up. Please be up. That is down. All right. That is going to be another green clue. Because I think you can get the same one twice. Could be wrong again. If I get anything wrong, let me know in the comments below. Excess clues are still good, though. If you have excess clues, you can turn those into leads, so you can complete investigations. If you have 5 or more leads, you can complete investigations automatically for their rewards, so it's a way to get extra rewards. Cool. We'll flip this over. This is tile number 8. All right, it's already matching. Awesome, awesome. And we have a point of interest. It's 3. It is the flooded market. We also have to place a search token on here because this is a large tile, but there's already one here, so this flips to a flood token. And then we resolve the point of interest. We got 3 plus 2 is 5. So we get an ancient pump. Hey, we get a discard 1. Oh, it went surge token. This just flipped to a... that's so sad. So sad. Because resolve, reveal a tile, and we were party out, check for a new tile. Elsewhere. Resolve all the symbols on the front of the face-up tile you have moved to. Yeah, because it's when you explore. And exploring happens. Well, actually, I don't know when the exploring happens. So is it technically before? Because I think it's after the kingdom tile step is done. Because you... Yeah, maybe it goes like that. So maybe I technically would. Because after it is revealed, then it's considered explored. After you're done revealing the face-up tile and then completing everything on it, I think that's when it's considered being explored. We'll play it like that, which means we would have been able to get rid of this ahead of time because we resolve the front. This gets discarded. Oh, but then it becomes explored, and then essentially another search token would get placed on top because it's so large. All right, let's play it like that again. Don't know if that's correct, but we're just doing what we can here. All right, we need a small 9. And a small 6. Ooh, only small cards. Yeah, I mean, we can start reducing our threat. It's going to be difficult for us to backtrack because we are locked off from the deep fog, so we might just have to show how that mechanic works. All right, let us resolve an exploration card. Curse transfer. It is a sync symbol, but this is just a flood token, surge token, not a flood. You may gain X curse to lose X threat, or vice versa. If we have 5 or more threat, we have to resolve this effect. Oh, it's a good thing I did that threat reduction. I mean, we saved a threat earlier for me playing a card I think I'm going to choose to gain a threat to lose a curse, because we just want to keep our curse as low as possible, I think. So that's a pretty good effect. Not a bad one at all. All right, end of our exploration, or end of our travel step, we have to trigger Disturbed Mire. So if we don't, we can just place a... We'll just place a flood token this time, because I unfortunately am maxed out on heat. And don't really care about... Don't really want everyone else to be full on heat either. All right, so because we're already on this thing when the token's there, we don't have to trigger it, but if we move back onto this, this will flood and we'll get slimed. Let us... I mean, there's only a couple directions to go. I think if we go this direction, we might be able to link up here. Neither of these give us clues, but we can start reducing our threat. So we'll gain a time, reduce our threat by 1, and we'll go like this. And a shortcut there that we can't use, and we need a medium 11. And then we'll resolve an exploration card. Also, Deep Fog that follows. Fog Trespass. Place a Deep Fog token on a random path leading from your current kingdom tile. Ooh. Well, we have a 50-50. A random path, huh? I think we just keep drawing one until we get one that's viable. All right, it's the left. There's already a Deep Fog token on there, so I don't believe we can have another one. So I'm just gonna place one on the right side, because it doesn't, like, I don't think we can have 2 Deep Fog tokens here. Additionally, there's nowhere else to place it, so we'll just say it goes there. Now, if you travel through a path with Deep Fog token, or there are 3 or more, or 3 tokens on the kingdom map, we can discard this card. So this card is gone now. There weren't any other effects for that one. Nope, that was just an instant one. All right, then we can end the round, end the delve round. We have Disturbed Mire. So we will just... I mean, I doubt we're going to be back here because we're going to teleport out through Deep Fog, I think. So I think we'll just put a flood token on this tile. Call it a day. Don't have to worry about sync right now. And we go back to the top of the order. Well, no matter which way we go through, we're going to end up at Deep Fog. So let us just go this way. So essentially what happens now is we play a little Deep Fog mini game utilizing this deck of cards here. We'll give this a shuffle. We will place a generic token to show where we are leaving from, so we can remember that, because we do use our model or our party tracker for this. So how this works is the Deep Fog essentially allows you to potentially teleport to other unrevealed tiles. Now, I do believe we automatically gain 1 threat. We gain 1 threat, and we have to place the party marker on an available fog path and choose an unexplored kingdom tile that's connected to unexplored kingdom tile anywhere on the map, and that explored tile does not need to be connected to yours. So we will gain a threat for that. And we will choose, where do we want to teleport to? So the nice thing about going through Deep Fog is you get to not only teleport, but you do, when you come out of it, you do get to choose a clue of your choice to gain, rather than choosing based on a random direction. However, if there are extra clues, like if we're traveling to like a tile with 2 or 3 clue gain or whatever, then, or we're meant to get extra clues, then those are determined randomly. What do we want to do? I mean, there might be some good stuff to explore over here. So I think we'll go here. Why not? We'll teleport to this one right here. All right, now how does the Deep Fog work? So the Deep Fog is a little mini game. First, you shuffle the Deep Fog deck. You'll draw one of the cards, flip it face up, and you can ignore the ability text or the penalty text, as well as these little icons, which are the hazard icons, and they show what hazards you are getting into. You'll place your party marker on the tile, and essentially, whatever tile you chose to travel towards, you'll look at the Deep Fog threshold, and that's how many cards you will have to flip face up before the Deep Fog Traversal ends. Now, the goal is to make a sum of 4 utilizing these little lantern numbers. So right now we're at -1, but we want to,
at the point that we end the traversal, we want to be at exactly 4. If we are less than 4, we suffer a minor penalty. If we are more than 4, we suffer a major penalty, and it's really, really bad. If you happen to traverse and you run out of cards in the deck, you are immediately lost, and the whole expedition immediately ends. You all lose. Now, you can always choose to do a few different things during each delve round or each deep fog round. You get to choose to continue your path, so you can just flip another card face up and move your party marker onto it. You can withdraw, so you lose a time and you go back to the tile you previously came from. Or you can change your course, which we'll get to in a second. But because we haven't done anything else, we're just going to flip over our next card. We are at +1, so that is just currently 0. I think we are good to just keep going here. So we're just going to traverse again. Ooh, that is +2. So we are at 2 now. We have 2 cards left that we have to draw. This is a little risky. I think there's only 2 2s in the deck. So if we happen to draw another 2, that could be really bad. But if we only draw a 1 and then another 1, we'll be at exactly 4. So it could be worth it to just try to keep going. I think we're going to risk it for the biscuit. All right, there's a 1. So we need this last card to be a 1. I'm also happy if it's a 0. Even if we're under 4, that is still better than getting over 4. But if it's a 2, then we are in deep trouble. But I think it's worth risking. A 0, okay. So that's our 5 cards. That is the Deep Traversal Fog ending because we hit our Deep Fog threshold. And now since we add up all of our total lanterns, we have -1, 1, so 0, +2 is 2, +1 is 3, and then a 0. So we're at +3. So we suffer a minor penalty, which means we have to choose one of these penalty abilities that are on the face-up cards to do for us. I think we are just going to... why we could just trigger this one. Yeah, why don't we just do this? It doesn't actually affect us because we get +1 curse for each point of deep fog value over 4, but we are under 4, so that actually doesn't affect us. So I think we'll just do that as effectively a blank for us, I think. Now, if we were over 4, we would have to trigger every single one of these that are on the revealed, and that is very, very bad, as you can see, because it is cumulative. Now, let's just say, for example, we're not done, just so I can show the other thing, which is the other thing we could have done was called changing the course. So if we decided we got to this point and we're like, oh, I don't really like the cards that we have currently, maybe we might want to risk going down another path and sort of reset a little bit. What you'll do is you'll choose one of your previously revealed cards, you'll move your marker on top of it, you'll flip all other cards back to their face down, and you'll start a new course, and you'll chart a new course going this way. Now, and then you would follow the same thing. The only difference is once you change course for the first time, you then have to do every single hazard symbol on the card. For the chalices, what that means is for each chalice symbol you see, you have to draw a half chalice token, which is this side. And that doesn't do anything on its own. However, the second time you see a chalice symbol, you flip the half chalice to a full chalice. What that does is it adds 1 for every full chalice to your deep fog intensity. Without the chalice, we are currently at 1, 2. That was our deep fog intensity. And then this makes it a 3. So it sort of messes with the math, and it's something you have to take into account where it's like, okay, if we're already at 3 deep fog intensity, then it's going to make it much easier to potentially go overboard and potentially do that. I do believe the little water icons as well, I believe they just place surge tokens on the kingdom board, board just as normal. So yeah, that's essentially how the deep fog works. Now, we didn't stay the path, so we ended up like this. Now, when you're done with the deep fog traversal, you have to, no matter what, like since we got less than, if you're less than or equal, you have to choose the lowest value deep fog card and you discard that. This card is no longer able to be used in the deep fog traversal, so it makes it a lot more difficult. If you happen to have gone over, actually, no, I think, yeah, if you happen to have gone over, then, only if you get a flawless traversal is discarding only the lowest. Because we were under, or if you're over, you also have to place all the cards back. You give the deck a shuffle. You take the top card off. That card is also discarded, but you keep it face down so you don't know what you discarded. So there's less cards in the traversal deck, so it makes it a lot scarier indeed. And then you can place your marker. You can remove the generic token. You can place your character on the tile that you explored, and then you come out of traversal. So you discard all your chalice tokens, you return to the kingdom tile step, and then during that step, get a clue regardless of the type of tile you entered. And instead of getting a clue that depends on the symbol, you get a clue any of your choice, and you gain the rest of the clues as normal, if any. Sweet. So this is also really nice because you can technically go to the small tiles and reduce your threat and stuff like that. Which, in reality, maybe that would have been better. That probably actually would have been better. Now, let's just say for hindsight's sakes, let's do that. Because I forgot that you get a clue no matter what size of tile it is. So we'll gain a time, we'll lose a threat, and we get a clue of our choice. So we are going to get another mystic clue, and then we'll get a mystic clue there as well. I think it's just, yeah, gain a clue of your choice. Okay, cool. All right, so we'll flip this over. This goes like this. And we got we got an extra large. All right, we're going to have to make some more room here. So we need a extra large 1 and a medium 2. So let's grab their medium 2. And we are exploring quite a lot at the moment. And then I think it was 1. Yeah, it was 1. Colosseum. And then we will resolve a exploration card. Mud that catches. So we do have a sync symbol. This is only a surge token though. Place a generic token on a random path leading to an unexplored kingdom tile. During the next travel step, if you travel through that path, advance time by 2. Then regardless of whether you used that path, discard the generic token. If we had 6 or more threat, which we do not, we would gain a curse. Random path leading to an unexplored kingdom tile. All right, so we only have 2. So I think we'll just draw more. So it's either left or north. That's not that. That's okay. That was north. Okay, so we got north. So that'll be our. So it's unfortunately going to the large one. Now I'm not really sure what happens if you get 2 time. Is this like a stopper? Or you still get 2 time? I think you still might get 2 time. It's just that you would trigger the clash and rest because you're past it. Let's get rid of that. Let's put a generic token on this path, so we'll get 2 time if we go up there. So meaning we'll get 3 total, speeding things up really, really quickly. Regardless of whether you use that path. Okay, so it only happens once, so we can, even if we go left, we can actually discard this token. So maybe we'll just do that instead. All right, end of the round, we have to do this thing. We'll just place another flood token on this tile, because why not? Actually, no. Because we might come back this way. I think we'll just have Rayloff take a heat. Okie dokie. Let us go this way. We'll gain our last time before the clash. We'll gain a threat. And we'll get a clue. Going west, we'll get our... Oh, wait. Maybe we just want to go north, get our last. Maybe we'll just suck it up and take the time bump. Yeah, we'll do that. So instead of, because of the generic thing and because of this, we will add advance time by 2 instead. And I think that is in addition to the tile time. So we'll end up getting 3 time. And then we discard this token. We'll get a bunch of clues. So our first clue is if we went north, which we'll get our last mystic clue. So we're all done, so we can not worry about that. And then we'll check the Mortis cards. So it will be for going left and going up for our second and third clue. Left and then up again. So mystic clues for everyone going left. And then going up again, so we'll get another... And we're drowning in mystic clues here. Cool. So then we resolve that. Flip this card over. I think this goes, yeah, like this. And we do have a point of interest. It's going to be 5 plus 1 is 6. Shapes in the dark. Party leader tests insight 7 plus. If we succeed, we have to do an encounter. If we fail, it's an ambush encounter. Oh, this is not what I want right before a fight. All right, so we're testing 7 plus insight. I have +1 to my insight, so we get so essentially 6 or more on the dice, and we succeed. That is a natural 2. I do not have any more heat to... Oh boy, I don't have any more heat to re-roll for that test, so we fail. So it turns into an ambush. So we are in this district. It is the Marsh district, so it's going to be the Winged Nightmare again for our encounter fight. Oh boy. The only issue here is now it's going to be an ambush, which means we have to spawn first. Alright, so we will not mess up last time. Like last time, I hope. So let us roll for our spawns. We got a hope, so that's a blank. That's not great. Maybe we'll just place her there. We got a chalice symbol for me. Actually, no, we'll just put the blank in the corner. Chalice symbol, I think this gives us the most options as Paracelsa. We got double swords on both Celia and Rayloff. Those aren't great. Maybe we put Rayloff here. Yeah, it gives them a couple of options, which means I think maybe we want to place her there, because then Rayloff can attack this, because he can attack 2 spaces away. She can attack there, he can attack there. And then I guess we'll put Celia here, and hopefully the... shoot. Well, if the Winged Nightmare spawns, and even if it gets a sword and a chalice, it has this place in a place where it can hit the most things. Maybe we'll just give ourselves options. Because if the Winged Nightmare pops here or here, then we can still hit her. Alright, so let's roll for the monster now. Double swords. Okay, well, the only other available option is here. So that is really bad, because only I can attack her. That is awful. Shoot. That's really, really bad. And this is why getting ambushed sucks for the encounters. Alright, the monster goes first, hits the position in front and behind. Can only hit me. So I will go down 1. But as I lose health, my heat limit will go up by 1. So at least now I get a reroll, because my heat limit's 4 now. Let me drink some tea. And then we get to attack. Now, no one else is in a position to attack. Because unfortunately for Celia's... Oh wait, Bianca has a bow. Never mind. Okay, Bianca can attack. Celia can attack. I got their weapons mixed up, so that was my bad. It wouldn't really change much though. Yeah, Rayloff's weapon is unwieldy, so it means you can only attack in straight lines, even though it has reach 2. Or sorry, it has reach 2, so you can only attack in a straight line. For the bow as well, the bow is unwieldy, so you can only attack in a straight line. But so I guess we'll just we can potentially get 2 successes here. We'll have let's see. I have not attacked yet, so I won't actually be able to leave any tokens behind at the moment. I think we'll have Bianca go first. We'll have Celia do a help action, so there's 2 swords, so we can put 2 opening tokens into the encounter pool. And, ooh, I don't think we need to add 4 in there, so I think we'll just do that. We'll leave Rayloff's help action for maybe my attack. Alright, so we'll have Bianca attack now. Bianca will draw the metal cards. Gets a +2 from the opening tokens. Her, wrong person. Her passion will go up by 1. And rolls a 4 plus 2 is 6. We need a 7 or more to hit. So she is going to spend her last E to re-roll. And she rolls a 2. Oh, wait. Sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I should have drawn the next one. I didn't see what it is, I promise. We got 6. We don't need to spend our heat. I forgot that since the metal card matches one of our clues, we can spend that clue to get the precision bonus for that extra hit, or that extra precision. So we get 7, we hit them. Now we gotta add up all the power. We roll a 2 for power. We have no break token, so the potential does not matter. Even if we spend a green token, which we can't, unfortunately, because it does not match any of our stuff, we could not even make another power. So unfortunately, that is going to be a failed break or fail wound. We can still leave our tokens behind for the next person. We can leave 1 break token. And we can leave another opening and a break, and as well as pushback, but that's not relevant here. So 2 break, 1 opening for us. Well, we can hopefully still get a partial success. It's going to come down to me. So let us hit our attacker. Rayloff will do a help action, so we'll add 2 more opening tokens in there because he's on double swords. So we have a good chance to hit here. We got plus 4 because we got plus 1 from our officer's Morgenstern, plus 3 from our opening tokens. We'll get our first passion finally, and then we will roll our dice. So again, we always roll a crit dice. In our dice pool, our Morgenstern only rolls 1 though. So we have plus 1, so we have plus 4. So we effectively need a 3 on the dice or higher. That's a 4. That's going to be a successful hit. Let us try and wound now. We need to beat 4 or more with power. We get 2 break tokens, so if we draw any or roll any chalices, we will get some power there. We get, because of our upgrade, we got 3 power dice from our weapon. We also get 1 flat power for wielding this two-handed. And then we get 1 power dice roll for this. So we're rolling 4 power dice in total. Fairly good chance we get it here, but of course, dice can always be dice. And we got 1, 2, 3, and we do have a chalice symbol here, so we can turn one of those break tokens into our 4th to successfully wound. So that does give us, at the end of this, all 1 partial success, so 1 knight may lose 2 heat. I'm going to choose myself because I'm already pretty high on heat there. And that is going to be the encounter. Luckily, nothing too bad. Again, this encounter is much less scary than like the white ape troll, for example. Because he's a vassal tier, so he hits a little bit harder, even as a regular encounter. All right, let's put all of our characters back, and then we can continue on. So we have to resolve an exploration card still. And then we got Deep Fog, Deep Wet Fog. So this is another district effect. This is for the Marsh district, though. So this is in the district area. If you suffer a minor penalty during the Deep Fog in the current district, we place a flood token on the target kingdom tile. All right, that's not that bad. Ideally, we don't really want to fail those anyways. So now we move on to the story step. We do check to see if we're at or past the exhibition clash. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm wondering if you can't really go there, but I feel like this is a weird interaction where the game hasn't accounted for this yet, but we'll just play it like this for now. All right, so we do trigger an exhibition clash, so we can move all of our things over to the left side of the board, and we can go to the Kingdom Tile book. We get a check to see what district we're in. We are in the Marsh district, so we are going to be fighting the Winged Nightmare. Really was hoping we weren't fighting the Winged Nightmare. She is an annoying fight from the little that I've tried. So we'll just load Clash. Thankfully, the beauty of TTS. It goes through the whole standard procedure of setting up a boss. So getting their AI cards, BP cards, so on and so forth. And then we can go to what the Clash phase is like. So the Clash phase happens in multiple steps. So we establish the type, if it's an exhibition, or a full clash. Locate the scenario, perform the setup. So prepare the scenario, the monster, and the knights. Resolve the clash, and then resolve the aftermath. So essentially, exhibition fights are slightly easier. Unfortunately, the Winged Nightmare is annoying in the fact that it actually does not add wounds into the wound pile at the start of the fight. For it being an exhibition fight, whereas normally you add in like 1 or 2 potentially, depending on how much easier the fight's supposed to be, because you have to have a certain amount of wounds against the monster to defeat them. And yes, during a clash, squires are considered knights unless stated otherwise. Cool. So let us see here. So we have to place our monster, or not monsters, our characters on the board, and then we can go through a little bit of setup. So let's go here. Let's put our ranged attackers probably further away. And then we'll put Salia right here. Get some water. Alrighty, so the Winged Nightmare, this is their sort of character card. On the top left, it shows their value to hit, like before with the symbol. So we need a 5+ hit to attack, successfully hit them. We need to do 6 wounds total to actually win this fight. This would be how many wounds start in the fight for an exhibition phase. None for this one, unfortunately. This is how many AI cards are drawn per activation, typically utilizing these tokens to show if they've gone or not. Typically it'll just be 1, but could be more. And then also their traits, which are listed here in more in-depth stuff. Typically they'll give extra keywords. For example, she has Endure, which can give her positive armor threshold tokens. Additionally, she has Flank and Flee, which will help her move around the board. This is going to be a little bit of a unique fight because she only has one 2-sided body part card. Normally you have a deck of body part cards that you go through and you draw from whenever you hit them to see what body part you actually hit. She's just going to be flipping in between this as we keep injuring her. While her BP card is revealed, she gets +2 to hit. She effectively starts at a 7+ to hit unless attacked from a column terrain tile. There are these column terrain tiles that we can spend a free action on to go on top of. However, if we are involuntarily moved off of it for any reason, we suffer a crash and knockdown. Displaced and suffer crash, which means you're knocked down and you take 1 damage. They are destructible though as well, so if the Winged Nightmare moves on top of them, she will destroy them. So she wants to get rid of them. And that is it for the little bit of setup. Thankfully, Magic at TTS makes that really, really easy. So the monster always goes first, unfortunately. So the monster is going to draw an AI card. And yeah, we'll shuffle everything to make sure everything's all good. And then we'll go from there. We can also ignore this one. This body part card is only if we are playing at level 2 or higher. So we can place that up there just so we don't distract ourselves. So the boss is going to draw an AI card and we'll run through it. So the top left number, that's how many evasion dice the target has to roll. Essentially, everything always hits you. It's our job to evade it. So you have to roll 4 evasion dice. You need a 7 or more on those dice. For each dice, you need a 7 or higher to dodge a hit. And then the targeting and everything else on the card, you essentially just read from top to bottom. And you try to fulfill things. Sometimes there's multiple ways to target the knights, and then you just go through those and you resolve the first one that you can actually fulfill. There's only one here, though. This is the knight closest to a chasm in sight. That is going to be Rayloff here. Rayloff is only 1, 2, 3. Actually, Salia is also 1, 2, 3. I think 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm out of there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So both Bianca and myself are not able to be targeted for this, but both of these can be targeted. We actually were supposed to choose who gets a priority target token off the start. Everyone, well, actually, it should be either Bianca or Salia. We'll just say Salia to make it not as scary, I guess. Yeah, we'll have Salia be the priority target because her and Bianca are tied for the highest passion. I don't know what exactly you're supposed to do if you start the game with passion, because typically no one is the priority target, but I guess you have to choose one. Priority target just means if you have the ability to choose between 2 equal people, and then one of them has the priority target token, they automatically are chosen, or sometimes abilities just specifically target the priority target token. In this case, both Rayloff and Bianca do not have the priority target token, and they are equal chance or equal distance to be targeted, which means we can just choose who is targeted. And I think we'll have a Rayloff get targeted. I'd rather not have... well, actually... Yeah, we'll have Rayloff get targeted because otherwise I don't want the Winged Nightmare to move here and destroy this tile. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Monsters do have unlimited movement. The Winged Nightmare is going to target and then move and attack. You'll also notice these little react icons at breakpoints. This indicates a timing where you can use reaction abilities or cards, which you can see are reflected by these little opposite pointing finger symbols. That's an ability that can be used during this time. So Bianca, for example, could spend 2 heat to do reflex, which means you can move space in any direction to try and get away from them or to move into cover or something like that. They definitely nerfed that from before, because when monsters used to have a limited amount of movement, you could actually react before they got to you and nullify their attack. Because monsters have unlimited movement now, that's no longer the case. So that got heavily nerfed. Alrighty, so move and attack. So she moves and then she attacks. And then, so again, the Squires do not draw a card or roll dice. They just draw a card, and the top left will show how many of those hits they evade. So Rayloff, you are dodging 2 hits. 2 is fine. I don't think I want to risk potentially drawing a 1 or a 0. You're also at max heat anyway, so you can't re-roll or redraw if you wanted to. For each hit, the target loses 2 vigor, and this little sarcophagus icon means they draw a peril card. However, Squires do not draw any Mortis cards. They only draw Judicium cards once they're at 0. All right, so Rayloff loses 4 health total. 1, 2, 3, 4 vigor because he got hit twice. Oof, that's a really difficult attack. And then pushback X, where X is the number of hits. So pushback means the monster moves and pushes the target and moves along with it. So pushback 2. And then after attack, flee 2. And that's one of her special keywords. The Winged Nightmare moves X spaces towards the closest board edge. If it already is or becomes adjacent to it, continue the movement along the board edge towards the next closest board edge. Alrighty. So let's see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Equal distance. We'll have her go this way. Yeah. So we'll go 1, 2, because it's flee 2. And we don't need to worry about the AI response. That's just dependent on some other cards. It'll look towards the discard pile and see what their AI response is. All right, that is going to be the AI or the monster's turn. You can also turn her this way as she moves. Alrighty, so how do we want to do this? We're really far away. These are rubble, so if we involuntary move on these tiles, we're knocked down, so we can move through them. Celia could move 4 and hit. Additionally, every boss will have a rear spot. A rear spot. If someone is in that rear spot, they're considered not in line of sight. It's like their blind spot, and then also they get +1 to hit, which is very, very nice. So yeah, because unfortunately this column is blocking me. I could do a free action and move on here, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4. But I unfortunately do not have the rush ability, I believe, which means I cannot. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to do is flip all your cards to the clash phase once it begins. Yeah, I don't have a rush, unfortunately. Okay, which means maybe we'll just have Celia go. And if Celia happens to draw the Winged Nightmare through a wound response over closer to me, that's probably better. So we'll go Celia. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Celia's 4 movement. And Celia will attack. So she'll get a passion. She'll also refresh 1 heat at the start of her turn, thanks to her refresh rate. And we'll attack with our broken sword. So we did start with 1 break token in the night pool from earlier, from our delve card, so that's nice. We ignore our bonuses though, so we just gotta draw a card, and we need, because this card is flip face up, gets +2 to hit, normally +5, so it's a 7+ to hit. That's going to be a 7. That's going to be a successful hit, and then we need to try and wound. For this wound, it is a 4 threshold. If we happen to beat it by 3 or more, we can immediately push them back 2 or drag 2. And there'll be reactions depending on if we successfully wound, fail, or if we had gotten a critical strike on them. When we wound, we would also get this bonus. Alrighty, so let's see if we can wound them. So we need 4. That's going to be 2 power with 2 potential. We have 1 break token, so we can turn 1 of those potentials into a break. So we have 3. Do we have a red? Oh, we do not have a red. That is unfortunate. Now, can I spend any color of, or does it have to match the metal card? You can also spend a clue token from the Squire's clue card corresponding to the symbol on the Squire metal card to gain his power bonus. If a clue symbol on the metal card matches the clue symbol on your gear card, you can add its bonuses to your roll. Oh, it's a flat add for that. Whoops, I had to spend clues. Well, unfortunately, it does not match it, so I think I'm going to just have to pay a heat to try and risk drawing a new one, because we are unfortunately failing at this point. That is a critical chance. Unfortunately, it's not a critical chance for our wound. We passed the point of doing that. Too bad we didn't draw this earlier. But we do get 3 power. We have 1 break token, so this turns into our 4th potential, and that counts as a successful wound. Because this is a critical chance card, we reshuffle the Squire metal deck. Excellent, good job. So that's going to be 1 successful wound, so we are going to grab a generic wound and put it into the wound stack. Normally, you would put the body part of the card you wounded into the wound stack, but because she only has a dual-sided card, we just use generic wounds to track it. So we have to wound, we have to perform the reactions as well. We do also have to escalate, and the escalation, again, normally you draw an AI card, you draw an AI card that is equal level of the body part card you destroyed. However, because this doesn't have a level on it, you look towards the discard pile for this particular monster. So this is a level 1, so we'll take a level 1 card out of here. We'll put in a level 2. We'll shuffle that 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Luckily, didn't shuffle it to the top. And then we will also do the wound responses. So flip this card and perform a signature attack against the attacker. So we can flip it, so now she loses that +2 bonus. However, and she also loses her superior bypass, which means she can no longer move through everything freely. She's essentially grounded. And then at the start of the monster round, she'll flip back to this one. Alrighty, so that is going to be it. We do need to perform the signature attack against the attacker, which is going to be this, so we ignore the normal targeting rules. She's going to turn to face her attacker. And then we have to dodge 3 hits for Salia. Salia evades 0 hits. All right, Salia, you're going to spend your last heat. Oh, we forgot to also, my bad, we forgot to leave tokens behind. I can leave 1 opening token behind, 2 opening tokens behind, and another break. This break token is used, but we'll leave 2 opening tokens behind. We'll just leave that one in there. We also can actually, I think that symbol is drag. I couldn't find it in the rulebook, but just from the way it's positioned, I think it's drag 1. So we're going to pull her this way towards me. All right, so now we do the attacks. All right, so we're going to spend a heat to redraw this miss of an evasion. Oof, we drew 0 evasions. So she gets hit 3 times. For each hit, lose 1 vigor. If the target had 4 or more heat when it was attacked, you lose 2 vigor for each hit instead, and you have to draw a Mortis card. Not relevant for them, but she does lose to 3. Oof, she got hit really, really hard. Push back X towards the closest chasm, where X is the number of hits. Oh boy, that is really, really bad. Because she gets pushed back 3. Now, if at any point we involuntarily move onto this chasm pile, we instantly die. Alrighty, well, it's pushed back 3. Unfortunately, it is going to be pushing back into this rubble, which we are involuntarily moved onto there, so we suffer knockdown, which is not good. Not good at all. Let's grab these, because I think I'm going to need a lot of these for later. So knockdown, essentially, you have to flip it over at the start of your turn. There are ways to potentially just stand up in general. For example, if Salia had 2 heat available, which he doesn't, she could stand up. You flip it over at the start of the next turn, and then essentially you essentially just lose a turn unless someone can stand you up. And it's pushback 3, pushback X, where X is the number of hits. So she's going to be pushed like this, 2, and luckily she has not reached the chasm, otherwise she would instantly die. When it comes to Rut, if you are on these spots, if you are attacking with them, your weapon turns into cumbersome. And if a monster moves onto this tile, they flip it. Which means I think this one actually should have been flipped, because I think she went 1, 2, 3, 4 and attacked Rayloff earlier. So this would actually technically be flipped. I don't think they have the correct terrain tile for this at the moment, because I don't think it's on the back of these. Yeah, for the demo, I think they just don't have the appropriate terrain tile for what this grass should be when it gets turned into it. I don't really understand what the point of it is, it flipping over, but it'll be some mechanical decision. Okie dokie, so that is going to be it for that. Well, not a bad attack. I mean, she got some great tokens in there. I think we're going to go with me while this character is still close by, and while we want to definitely maximize the amount of wounds we can do while she's a lot easier to hit. If we do wound, she also gets an automatic instinct, which would be flank and lose a vigor. Not the worst. So if we wound her and we don't get the critical, we gain pushback or drag for this attack, or X is the number of wounds in the wound stack. Oh, that's really good for us. We could push her into this, and since she no longer has superior bypass, we can actually destroy this, I think, and make her take a damage. Again, we're going to be learning a little bit of stuff on the fly, because I haven't encountered every single thing here. Because I think monsters and yeah, monsters. Oh wait. Oh, sorry. We don't get a +1 for just being behind her. It has to be a blind spot, not just a rear spot. My bad. Rear just means you're, I believe, not in line of sight. Anyways. Do. As you can see, there's a lot that can happen. If a knight is about to be in... Okay. Yeah, we suffer crash. And mobs suffer crash. Monsters can be involuntarily moved through spaces occupied by other miniatures and obstacle to terrain tiles. If a monster is involuntarily moved into a board edge... Okay. I don't think they actually can get damage. I think they just destroy it. Yeah, I believe they just destroy it. Boss movements. Yeah, it doesn't seem to list involuntary stuff. I think it just makes sense they don't get wounded. I think they're just like too strong for that. But anyways, let us go 1, 2, 3, 4. Excuse me. I think we'll... Yeah, we don't need to hop onto this tile. We have 4 movement. And then we also refresh our heat. We also refresh our cards. So all the cards go from delay into cooldown. And then if we had any cards in the cooldown, we could choose one of those cards to go back to our hand. And then we are going to attack. So we'll raise our passion by 2. We do not have the highest passion because Celia does. So we will not take that priority target token. And we will attack. So we get 1 dice. We get +1 from our weapon. We have 2 tokens in the opening pool. So +2. So that's +3 total. It's only a +5. It's only 5 to hit because she is currently grounded. That is a 2. +3 is 5. So barely getting there. Yeah, barely hitting her. So we don't have to spend heat to reroll. So now we can add up all of our power dice. We get 3 from the weapon, 1 from ourselves. So we get 4 total. And we have 1 break token in the token pool. And because we're on our second ability, we get a 1 power reroll as well. Cool. And then we have an extra flat power for wielding this two-handed. So we need only 3 on this one. We got 1, 2, 3, and 4 from our weapon, 5 from the potential. And we do not get the overpower. Is there a way we can generate a 6th one? We might as well use our power dice reroll to reroll this hope symbol because it does not count for anything unless you have anything specific. Oop, that should have just been 1. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from our weapon, and then a 6th from the chalice symbol and the break token there. So that means we do get a successful wound and we get the overpower, so we can immediately push back 2 or drag 2. We'll push her back towards our other friends, so this tile will get destroyed. Column. We'll go 1, 2. And then we will successfully wound. We will escalate. It's because the top card in the discard pile is a level 1, so we'll put another level 2 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Uh-oh, shuffle the level 2 on top. And then we have to do the reaction. So we gain pushback, or never mind. We gain push back or drag for this attack, where X is the number of wounds on the wound stack. So we can push back again, I guess? Does that matter? I guess the further away from the chasm, probably the better. I think there was only one wound at the time that we triggered this, though. Cool. All right, we're already 2 wounds in. Now, because I successfully wounded with this weapon, I unfortunately have to exhaust it. So we'll just turn it sideways. Is there a way I can not snap it? There we go. And then we'll have to spend a combat action or a movement action to refresh that. All right, we got to leave some tokens behind. So we got to leave 2 break tokens behind from our weapon. We got to leave either a opening or a break token from our heroic arc. We'll just leave 1 opening token behind. There we go. And that is going to be it for me, I think. So really, really solid turns so far. We're already a third of the way there. Yeah, this is one of those games where if everyone hits on every single one of their turns, it can go by pretty quickly, but it can also turn very sour very quickly. I think we'll have... Where do we want to go next? I think we'll just have Rayloff go. Rayloff can sort of sandwich her in here. So Rayloff will move. Rayloff also refreshes 1 heat. We will attack, so Rayloff's passion will go up by 1. And we will draw our card. So we need 5 plus... we need a 4 plus to hit, technically, because we have 1 opening token. That's going to be a 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. That is going to be good enough to hit. So then we draw to wound. We are looking for 3 power. That... Man, we keep missing all these awesome crit chance cards on our attack roll. But we still got our crit card for power. We get a lot of power, so we can do 3 power. We have 2 potential, or 2 breaks and 3 potential, so we can turn 2 of those into power. So we got 5 power total. We could spend a clue for a 6th power if we want to do the overpower effect to immediately push back or drag 2. But I don't think we need to. Oh, I actually forgot to do the response card. So this actually should have been a little bit different. We won't move Rayloff just yet. I think Rayloff was here. Because on my turn, we should have done the instinct as well. So she is going to flank, which means moves to an empty space furthest from the center of the clash board that's adjacent to the target or attacker, prioritizing spaces in a straight line from the chasm terrain tile. So it'll probably end up being something like this instead. And then we also lose a vigor. And we don't need to change our threat, our heat threshold. Okay, so now Rayloff can move. I think Rayloff will move here. And we already did our hit roll. We already did our power roll. All right, we can go through all that now. So that is going to be a successful wound. I don't think we care about pushback or drag here, so I think we'll just stay there because we got a bow on Bianca, so she can still attack from there. All right, successful wound. So we are going to do our instinct, which is still this one. So she's going to flank and go the furthest away. Probably here, I would say, away from the furthest amount of knights, maybe. She lands on this tile, unfortunately, does destroy it. Oh, wait, she... Oh, yeah, no, she ignores the tiles, right? Monsters always ignore tiles, I think. Or maybe not mob. Maybe mob has to go around. They're sort of like the same size as us. I actually don't know how that works. I'll have to figure that out later. Again, we're just learning a little bit on the fly here. So we do get a wound into the wound pile halfway there. The top card is still AI level 1, so we got to look for a level 1 AI card. Take that out, put into level 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there's only level 2s in here now. And then that's going to be it for that. Then we gain pushback X or drag X, where X is the number of wounds in the wound stack. So it's 2 at the moment. I guess we can drag this way. Just so he's in line with Celia, and then Celia doesn't have to move. Which means that she can refresh her bow afterwards. Alrighty, so that is going to be it for Rayloff. So then we're going to have Bianca go. Bianca's going to refresh 1 heat. She's going to attack from where she is. She's got a range 2 to 4 bow. And she's going to gain a passion for that. I'm getting all these terms wrong. There's so many different things to manage. Heat, passion, threat, curse. Alrighty. And then we will draw. And we also have to reshuffle this because we drew a crit chance. All right, we need a 5+ to hit. We have 1 opening token in the pool. That's going to be a 7. That's going to be a hit. And then to wound, we got 2 break tokens in there. We got 2 power plus 2 potential. We can turn those, use those breaks as power for the potentials. So we got 4 power total. That's going to be a successful wound, baby. And that is going to be another wound in the wound stack. We got the AI response, which is still this one. So it's going to be flank like this. Rayloff also should have lost another health. And then, oops, wrong character. Bianca loses a vigor. Cool. Well, I think, so we did successfully wound with the bow. The bow does have cumbersome, so we're going to exhaust this. However, we are going to spend our movement action to unexhaust all of our gear. And that is going to be it for Bianca. So really excellent turn from everyone, to be honest. And now, when Bianca attacked, she did end up with 3 passion, which is the same as Celia, but you only grab the priority target token when it is greater than, not equal, or greater than. Anything I want to do here? I don't think so. So it is going to be the monster's turn. So the monster is going to go... all right, AI2 card. This could be really, really bad for Celia. Serenade. Simultaneous Judgment. Endure 1, which means she gets a... Oh yeah, we also flip this token back over. She gets a positive armor threshold token. It's a temporary token that'll buff her armor threshold by 1, which is really, really bad. Knights in Zone 3 is the target. If there's no target, she performs signature. Knights in Zone 3 means every knight within 3 spaces diagonally or orthogonally. So that means 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think it's 1, 2, 3. I think it's like that. I think it's like hits everyone pretty much. Where's the targeting for this again? Wave attack zone attacks all spaces within X spaces horizontally, vertically, and diagonally from the source of zone X. If a knight is a source of zone X, they are also affected by the attack. Okay, cool. So yeah, within 3 pretty much of her, no matter which direction you're in. Which means 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Actually, no, it would have to be that way, wouldn't it? Because it's diagonally, right? So it's like 1, 2. Yeah. So I think it reaches. Oh, it does not reach Rayloff. Sorry. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, because I don't really know if you count diagonal and then I guess this way. Oh no, I guess it would have to be that way because it makes like a square around them. All right, so Rayloff, Paracelsa, and Celia will have to make a judgment test. This is essentially sort of like a mind effect rather than them hitting us. We can react, which I might... 1, 2, 3. I actually can't get out of range of it no matter what. And Rayloff does not have enough heat to use his ability to reflex. Otherwise, he could move out of the zone before it does its own attack, which is unfortunate. All right, she's going to judge. So if we had 3 or more heat, we have to dodge 3 hits. We do not. And we have to dodge with 2 dice. And we have to hit 10+ to dodge this. We need to test bravery or sagacity if we get hit, which is really, really rough. Ooh. Ooh, boy. All right. These level 2 cards are always very, very difficult. Alrighty, actually a little bit of a rules clarification. So when it says judge, this is just a specific type of attack, like judgment, where you actually don't roll evasion dice. You actually have to make a respective test, whether we can choose bravery or sagacity as our options. The 10+ here is the difficulty we have to beat on those tests, and these are considered virtue tests. So what this means is it means that we can't use, like, if we had equipment that provides evasion rerolls or something like that, this would not count. You cannot use those for judgments. It's like a special kind of attack, more like a mental assault. So we have to evade off of 2 dice. We can choose bravery or sagacity. And our test is either, I think for us is bravery. Yeah, we have 1 bravery, no sagacity. So we'll roll 2 dice. We have to dodge, I think one of those back. Or is it 2 separate? I think it's all done at once anyways, similar to an attack. Alrighty, so for each of these that is under 10 plus, we pretty much need 9 pluses on the dice to actually succeed. Alright, that's a 10, so we do dodge 1. We do get hit for a 1. We gain the fear condition card, and for each hit we lose a certain amount. Panicked. Should have dragged these out earlier, because there's a bunch of them. A lot of conditions to be afflicted with in this game, as you can see. Dread. This is the one we want. And we might get feared some more, so we'll drag those over here. So we get the fear card. This is really, really bad for us because what it does make us have -2 precision. If we gain it a second time, we have to flip it over, or we gain the dread condition card, we flip it over to dread, which is even worse. However, we can face our fear if we successfully deal a wound with this penalty. We get to discard this card and get a permanent positive precision token on our night board, which is very good. Excuse me. And for each hit, we lose 2 vigor. So we are still in the 10 to 8 range, so our heat threshold is still 4. And we move 1 space towards the Winged Nightmare, ignoring difficult terrain, treat this movement as a voluntary, and we have to draw a Mortis card. So let's go a little bit further away from the chasm if we can, and we have to draw a Mortis card. We are in the minor level. Feign Death, immediately chain break the monster attack, gain the knockdown condition card. Chain breaking the monster attack, I think, does not affect the zone attacks. I'll have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. But we gain the knockdown standing up condition card. So it's almost like we're on knockdown, but not really, because we are able to get rid of this at the start of our turn. This one. So if you move voluntarily, attack or use a technique, a gear ability, or a technique, you get to stand up. At the start of your turn, stand up. And if this card is discarded by another effect, stand up. So it's sort of, yeah, feigning death. Very straightforward. But we do get a chain break, which I believe does actually not have the last part resolved, but I'll need a double check. Again, we're going to learn some of this stuff on the fly, because I'm sure some of these questions might come into play for you as well. Chain break during occurs. Okay, a chain break during one of these attacks does not invalidate unresolved attacks against other knights. All right. So chain break normally just ends the attack. As we can see here, some Mortis ability cards may allow knights to act during a monster knight or knight attack. If this disruption occur, a chain break immediately end the original attack, invalidating all of its lingering attack effects as well as after attack effects. All right, so because this is a zone attack, normally you can just end their attack right there because this is a zone attack. The other characters still have to resolve their stuff, unfortunately, but we don't trigger the after final attack thing, so it does not flee after my attack, which is, I guess, good. All right, so Rayloff also has to draw, so they treat this as essentially a regular evasion roll. So we'll just draw a card for Rayloff. Rayloff evades both the hits, so that makes it a full evade, which means that we ignore the whole middle section of this card and we go directly to after attack effects on a full evade, which is very, very cool. So Rayloff, good job there. We got Flee 3, so it moves 3 spaces towards the closest board edge. 1, 2, 3. This tile will get destroyed. And then we also need Bianca to do their draw. They only evade 1. We could spend a heat to redraw that because they treat it as a regular evasion roll. There's a lot of 1s and 2s. I think we will chance it. She has fairly good health at the moment, so I think it's probably worth trying. She get another full evade off. And then she doesn't run away as much either. All right, we evaded both hits. Perfect. And no crit hit chance or crit miss in the discard pile, so we still leave that there. And we get to disregard their other stuff and move to final attack, so it'll just be another flee down the board towards the closest board edge. Yeah. Alrighty, that is going to be the monster's turn. It's going to be the Winged Nightmare done, and then we will go to our round. So we could just have... Oh, wait, this should be like this. There are sometimes Mortis cards where it's like you can put someone back up, can stand someone back up. I don't have any way to motivate. There are characters with ability cards that are able to do stuff like this, but unfortunately, I don't believe I have the ability to do so. I can stand myself back up, but that is about it. So we'll just have Celia go. Her turn is at the end of her turn. She can't do anything because she's knocked down, so she'll just flip this back over to standing up, and then next turn she'll be flipped right side up effectively. So we can just do that now. And then, let's see. So when we attack, if we fail, the attacker is going to lose 2 vigor and then flank. I've never seen this hand symbol before. I guess that just means flank afterwards. It's going to be rough because we do have 2 break tokens in the pool, which is good. The threshold is now 5 to actually beat because it has a temporary armor threshold token that does last for just a turn because it's temporary, but or an attack, I guess. Which means maybe... Oh, it's really difficult for me to get in position to attack, though, because I have to spend a movement action or some action to refresh this card. I also need to wait for those more opening tokens. So maybe we have... I guess maybe we have Rayloff go. Because Rayloff is going to flank, so maybe we can put him in a position where the Winged Nightmare will have to flank and end up, like, closer by to Paracelsa. But I don't think he's in a position to actually really do that. Maybe if we go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Unfortunately, we don't have enough space. We have to go pretty much here to attack her, I guess. And I think she'll just stay there if that's the case, because she wants to be the furthest space from the center of the clash board. So I don't think she'd actually move, unfortunately. So maybe we go here. Maybe we will use a free action to hop onto here. Oh, wait, no. We'll just move here. We won't have the range. We only have range 2. At least it'll move her towards here, I guess. Alrighty, let's have Rayloff go. Rayloff is going to attack. We have 1 opening token in the pool, so we get a +1. That is a crit chance. That is a beautiful thing to see, because if we get a critical, if we actually wound and successfully wound, it'll count as a critical wound where we get to perform a bonus attack and flipping the card over. All right, Rayloff, it is up to you, sir. Oh, he would have also refreshed a heat, and when he attacked, gain a passion. He is getting very close to dying, though. Alrighty, so because that was a crit chance card, we get to shuffle that back in. Come on, we need... Give me a 4, give me a 4, give me a 4. Alright, that's 2 power. We have 1 break token. Oh, no, 2 break tokens, so that is going to be 4 power. We do have a matching clue for the thing, so we can spend that to gain an extra power off the card, which we will for our 5th. And that is going to be enough to wound the Winged Nightmare. Also getting rid of this temporary threshold token, so that is awesome. So we get another wound in the wound stack, but because we wounded and we had a critical chance, Rayloff gets to perform a bonus attack, which is freaking cool, and you also get to ignore the other responses. So that is going to be a wound. The top card of this is going to be an AI level 2, so we do take an AI level 2 out and shuffle in an AI level 3. Hey, nice. And this flips over. A generic wound goes in the wound stack. Oh, it did not save from when I reloaded the game, so we should actually have 4 in there. Oh, wait, no, whoops. It was showing. Okay, we have 5 now. This is our 5th wound, I believe. Cool. So Rayloff could actually end the fight here if we get lucky enough. So we can get rid of those. Those get cleared. Rayloff does leave 1 opening token automatically and can push back as well as leave an opening, a break. So it leaves 3 openings and 1 break from his heroic arcs. And we could push back. Does that matter? I don't think it actually matters. We'll just keep him there. Yeah, I guess we will just go again. All right, let's go. You can do this, Rayloff, I believe. So let's roll a hit. Because the thing has flipped over now, it loses its +2 to hit. So now it is it's just 5 to hit. That is going to be an 8. Would have hit him anyways. And then we will roll our wound. This is a bonus attack, so we do still raise our heat as our passion as well. All right, we need to get only 3 power. That is going to be 4, and that is going to be our 6th and final wound. Rayloff coming in clutch with the crit chance, crit wound, and murdering the winged nightmare. Beautiful job. Alrighty, so that's actually the first time I've completed a full fight. Super, super awesome. And of course, the wound. I don't believe the wound reactions go on because the monster's just dead at this point. Alrighty, so we can go to the aftermath. So there's none that are dead. All knights reset their passion, heat, vigor, and their limits on the tracks to their starting values. Let's go like this. Move everything back over. All right, so they get that. Passion stays the same, but our heat refreshes. Heat refresh, health goes back up. Yeah, I think there's a passion. Oh no, passion does get reset. Okay. So that actually would normally reduce our heat limit, but we got heat limit from the previous quest. Should have make another tracker to mark that what we've gained is from a previous quest, I guess. It's too bad our passion goes back down. Then we can also get rid of all the knockdown cards and things like that. I believe this is a mild condition, right? Do I still keep my return all technique cards from your cool? Okay, we can get all their technique cards back. All knights discard their condition cards and condition tokens. We discard 2 Bane tokens, discard all generic tokens, modifiers, and knight tokens. Okay. Unexhaust all your gear, regain all discarded gear except consumables, and discarded consumables remain discarded until end of expedition, in which case they'll be added to the merchant deck. Cool. All right, well, it would have been nice to get that. I guess it would have been a token, so we wouldn't have that permanent precision. That permanent precision is just for the fight. All right, we'll get our card back to our hand. We'll unexhaust our weapon. All right, cool. And then we get to discard 2 Bane tokens. I don't think anyone has any Bane tokens, so we're good there. And then if you won the clash, perform Clash Scavenge 1 and Scavenge 3. If you lost the clash, perform just Scavenge 3. So we do have Exhibition Clash, which I guess we just get the Exhibition Clash card into our loot deck. And then Scavenge 3, we can choose 3 regular. I think we'll maybe just choose 1 of each. So we'll get a Kingdom, an upgrade, and a consumable into our loot deck. And then venture forth. If any knight is on a quest, proceed to the indicated paragraph. If no knight is on a quest, if you've won, depending on the clash, you proceed to rest. If you've done the exhibition clash or the spoils phase, if the full clash, and if you've lost, you lose the expedition, proceed to the spoils phase. So we'll go to the rest, which we can see. Is that in here? Because I know you can do campfire tales and stuff. Yeah, and this is the first time I've actually done a full thing. All right, rest phase. Knights may play technique cards with the rest keyword. I don't believe we have one of those. It's usually on the delve phase, I think. Any rest? Any rest? Any rest? No rest cards. Perform rotation 2. All that means is that these rotate 1, 2. And then you can resolve a campfire tale below. When your knights are resting, you can decide to participate in campfire tales, a small getaway from the pervasive dangers of the kingdom. They're short stories your knights can tell each other to lighten the mood and gain a small stat bonus. Roll on campfire tables in the Kingdom Codex, adding the highest rapport between any two knights in your party to the result, then read the tale you roll, if any. Alrighty, so let's roll a d10 and add our rapport. We don't have any rapport with anyone, so we'll just grab our white dice here. We also clear all the knight tokens. Whoops, I think I just deleted a... I'm gonna hit Control-Z, it might break something, but... Oh, it's not Control-Zetting. Well, hopefully we won't need that wing card later on, I guess. Alright. We got a 4, so that is going to be... Oh, you need a 9. Okay, so you need quite a high result. So no campfire tales for us, unfortunately. And we will just continue onward. So after the rest phase, we just, keep going to the Del phase. So we'll start again at the very top of the order. Make sure we're not forgetting anything. So that's just for Deep Fog Traversal. This is only if we end the Deep Delve round. Oh, also, I think I was doing this accidentally too much. This is only if we are in that district, which is important. Alrighty, so we have all the clues we need. So really, it's just a matter of surviving. Our threat is getting quite high, but we don't really have any small tiles to move towards at the moment. So I think we'll just have to take our licks. So let's go this way. We'll gain a time, gain a threat. And we will gain a clue. So we're going east, so we'll gain a red clue. Flip that over. We'll orientate this properly. And we do have a point of interest. Additionally, we are not in the mud district, so we don't have to worry about disturbed mire. And we will, got 1 plus 1 is 2. We got Signs of Struggle. We got another Scavenge. Let's just, sure, let's get more consumable gear. Why not? Cool. And then we resolve exploration. Fog Trespass. Place a deep fog token on a random path leading from your current kingdom tile. So the only options are left, down, and right. Also, we need a small. Nice. A small one's good. Small one. Left, down, and right. Hopefully it is not right. It is right. Fantastic. Well, the direction we were going to go to now has a deep fog token on it. Let's actually just use the smaller ones. So that blocks off that area. So that's a little unfortunate. I guess we just go down and then to the right. We'll backtrack a bit because this should hopefully connect to here. So we just lose a time for this. We do not get any threat or anything, but we still resolve a card. Still in the Marsh District, so don't need to worry about that. Drown Dash. Perform Rotation 1 and Scavenge 2. All right, everything's back to normal. Or back to where it started. And Scavenge 2. If we have 6 or more threat, which we do, we perform Rotation 2 instead. Okay, so just another. All right, Scavenge 2. I mean, wow, we are getting a lot of loot, that's for sure. Let's grab an upgrade, and let's grab probably Kingdom gear. Cool. Alrighty, let's go over to this tile. So we will get a red clue again. Gain a threat, gain a time. So now that we've passed 7 for the very first time, we are going to have to spawn an enemy onto a tile adjacent to us. So we are on the Mud District, so we will spawn Winged Nightmare. Is there a way to clean up the clash board, I wonder? I wonder if it does it automatically. No, doesn't say. We just load it again. That resets it. Oh, also I can grab these guys again. Acelia, me, Rayloff, the MVP, and Bianca. Okie dokie. Let's grab the Winged Nightmare. And her token, I guess, it goes on a random adjacent space to us. I guess because we haven't revealed this one, I guess it'll just automatically go there. So that'll be chasing us around potentially. We really need to reduce our threat though. We're almost dead. This is one. All right, perfect. Okay, so these don't connect. That's really bad for us because we only have a medium, so it connects like this, and a large, which will end up being really bad for us. The large one goes over here. We need to find a small. Shoot. And if we backtrack, we have to do this encounter, which I really don't want. This is looking too hot. Okay, so what are we doing? Oh yeah, exploration card. Yeah, exploration card off this one, I guess. Yeah, was that? Wait. 1 second. Okay, not exploration yet. Sorry, we got to resolve this point of interest first. We got 2 plus... I mean, hopefully we can get this to lose some threat, but we'll see. All right, 2 plus 3 is 5. That is going to be an Ancient Pump. We got to discard 1 Surge token. All right, well, at least there's a Surge token on there, so it's not all for naught. And then now we draw an exploration card. Stir in the Swamp. Remove 1 flood token from the closest kingdom tile and perform rotation 1. This is the closest. All right, so we're cleaning up a little bit. And then rotation 1. All right, so much rotating. Oh, wait. If we have 6 or more threat, we do not remove the flood token. Never mind. It is back. Pretty funny that it's called the Flooded Market and it's got a flood token on it. This is also the Mud District. So Disturbed Mire goes off, Sink, nothing happens there. We can suffer 1 heat or suffer a cooldown if you don't place a flood token on your current kingdom tile. We'll just have, we'll have Rayloff get a heat, negate that. Now the tough decision. We can't go to Sunken Kingdom. That automatically puts us at 9 threat and we'll end our thing. I don't really know how it works because we don't have the storybook, so we don't really know what happens when that triggers. I do believe you lose, though. Maybe we can just check the keyword or the index and see threat. Kingdom track, page 30. Because I believe it used to be you just get both. They're both the curse and the threat are just like the 2 ways that you can just run out of time effectively. But because that's a story entry, again, we don't really know what is supposed to happen. Whether it maybe just like spawn something in and then you have to keep going. Kingdom track, threat time. Whenever you gain any of these statistics, yada yada yada, if threat or curse increases over the maximum value, it will result in an immediate expedition loss. Also, certain effects will become... Okay. So you can go up to 9, but you can't go past 9. So gives us a little bit of breathing room, I guess. But I think we'll go down here regardless. I don't really want to go straight to 9. So let us get a time. We're almost to the full clash. We just need to survive a little bit. This is going to trigger the... monster to follow us. And we get a clue. We get a mystic clue. We're getting a lot of excess clues, which is not a bad thing. So cipher, no point of interest though. This will end up being like this. All right, sweet. There are multiple small tiles here, which is perfect. So we need small 3, small 4, and long small 5. 3, 4, long small 5. So now we can start reducing our threat. These are probably going to connect like that. Cool. Alrighty, let us do an exploration phase. It came from the mud. Place this card in your district area whenever a sink is triggered in the current district. Resolve an encounter. Oy boy. That's more stuff for the mud. district, so that's stacking on there. Okay, we are not at the full clash yet, so we can still keep going. Let us... Maybe this one can potentially be connected to this one. We can get 2 turns of reducing our threat. That could be pretty good. Let's go this way. We get 1 time, lower our threat by 1. That does re-trigger this, so the monster does move again. Now, if we go this way and it triggers again, then we will have to fight another winged, or another potential winged nightmare. Oh, that does not connect. Does not connect. We just go to the... Oh, we just have an extra large 2. Oy. Okay, that's not how I thought it was going to be. It's probably going to be something like that. And then a deep fog. I guess we can use the deep fog to like get away from the wing, or from the enemy token here, the winged nightmare. Okay. And we have to resolve an encounter. Oh, at the end of our round, we were still in the mud district, so we we'll have Salia gain a heat to negate the flood token. Actually, you know, at this point, screw it. Let's just put a flood token on there. We're almost near the end. So there goes a flood token, and then we'll resolve an exploration card on here. Oh wait, no, that was our exploration card. Well, do we go through the deep fog? I mean, we get a threat regardless if we go through the deep fog, but it does allow us to avoid shenanigans because we can't go here. It puts us over the required amount of heat. I don't want to backtrack, so I guess we're going through the deep fog, which is really risky before our last fight, but it is what it is. All right, we're going to go through the deep fog and just see how it goes. Yeah, it's pretty unlucky. Oh wait, I could use I Shall Know No Evil, and then we'll end up at 9. And since there's no story thing here, we actually can just count it as being at 9 threat. You know what, let's do that. That's probably safer than potentially risking the chance of us just losing straight up. So we're going to move here. We gain a time. I'm going to play for 2 heat. I Shall Know No Evil. We will get a break token as a warm-up token. And we get to reduce the threat gain by 2. Oh, sorry. By 1 if it was more than 2. So we only get 2. That'll trigger the monster to move multiple times. I think that's done... Oh, I guess that is done before. So I guess we will have to do an encounter. But that's okay. Probably better than risking the deep fog. We get a red token for them, and then we get 2 extra tokens because it's a extra large tile. So it's right and left. So right direction is Mystic Clues, and left is Green Clues. It is also an extra large tile, so we do place a flood token, or sorry, a search token on the Kingdom book. And we do have a point of interest. I think point of interest happened first before encounter, so it's got 5 plus 4 is 9, which means 2 random nights refresh 1. All right, so those will go down into there, making it a little bit easier for us to get our cards back. And then I guess we resolve the encounter, which is going to be the winged nightmare who has been chasing us. Our 3rd time doing the encounter, but at least that makes it not too scary because we sort of know what to expect. This is not an ambush, though. I believe it's not like triggered by it. I think it's just a regular encounter. So let us place our knights. We get to spawn the monster. Chalice. It'll want to hit, I guess, like this. Has the best chance of hitting multiple things. And let us get our dice out. Oh boy, 3 chalices. That is not good. Because I think if there's not enough enemy or not enough spaces, we just can't include that. I don't think we can include that person into the fight. If there's no spaces available with a matching symbol, you must either remove that knight from the encounter or place your knight miniature on any space targeted by the monsters. Okay. That's okay. Now, I think it has to be like a solo chalice. Like, it has to match. So even though there's a chalice and a sword here, I don't think we can count that. So, let's see. Let's place... Man, these are really bad positions. I don't think we can even get any attacks off. Bianca can because she's got a bow. Rayloff has a chalice. I guess we will have me here. We'll just take a hit for our friendos. Yeah, we'll take a hit for our little squires. They've proven themselves to be useful. It'll be a help action from Rayloff and Celia, unfortunately. But yeah, there's no more spaces for us to go because we also have a chalice, so we'll place her there. Oh wait, no, we have to place her here because we have to get targeted by the Winged Nightmare. All right, Winged Nightmare is going to hit front and back spaces for 1. We'll lose 1. And then it is our turn, so we'll have... So they both can put break tokens in, but not opening tokens. The bow does leave an opening token behind. Oh no, break token. Bianca would leave 1 opening token, whereas I could leave 2 break and an opening token. I mean, realistically, we only need 1 success. Let's have Bianca go. We'll have Rayloff. And just give us the best chance possible. We'll have Rayloff and Celia put 2 break tokens in as a help action. We'll have Bianca attack, raising her passion by 1. And rolls a 7. That's going to be a hit. 7+ is the required amount to hit. And we have to draw for power now. That is going to be matching power to our red if we need it, but that is already 3 power plus 2 potentials. We have 2 break tokens in. That's 5 power. That is going to be a successful scrape. And that is going to be leaving 1 break token and 1 opening token behind for me. Not too bad. All right. Went and had to save the opening token as an object and spawned it in again. Alrighty, so that does it for Bianca, leaving those tokens behind. Again, we do not have to cumbersome exhaust that, which is awesome. Alrighty, and then we will go with my character. So we are going to attack. We need a 7+ to hit. We have 1 opening token in, 1 + 1 precision on our weapon. So we effectively need a 5+ on the dice. That is not going to be it, so we are going to spend a heat and try and get that again. That is a 5. 5 + 2 is 7. Perfect, just bare minimum right there. And then we are going to roll to wound. We get 4 power dice total. And we need 4+ swords. We have 1 break token to utilize. That is awful. Well, we get 1 passion. We do get a flat power from our weapon. We get 2 power from this, 3 power from the potential, and that unfortunately is not enough to wound it. And we do not have a power dice reroll, which is really bad. Alrighty, well that is going to be a fail, unfortunately. Luckily we did get our 1 success, which is realistically what we all need. Because now 1 knight may lose 2 heat. We'll just have Paracelsa refresh her heat. And that does it for our encounter. The encounters are pretty cool. I like them. They're not too difficult, but they're engaging enough, interesting enough to make for some fun decisions, and you can actually get some useful stuff out of it. All right, there's stuff there, and then we'll put this back. All right, that is going to be it for that. We can resolve our exploration card for this section now. Surge. Place 2 surge tokens on the kingdom sheet. If we had 6 or more threat, which we definitely do, we have to gain a curse. This is already a surge token, so we'll place 1 there. Or is it just... Yeah, we'll place 1 there, and then I guess we place another surge token. And now we come to the story step, though. In the story step, we do resolve our last clash because we are at 16 time. And this is going to be a full clash against, we're in the Mud District. This is going to be against the First Men Warriors. Oh boy, I've actually not fought against these guys yet, so this could be a little bit sketchy. Alrighty, let's do it. First Men Warriors clash, loading that in. We'll toss all of our stuff over. Bring some power dice over for me. Alrighty. So this is, yeah, this is going to be a little bit risky here. All right, 1, 2, and 3. Oh, I think these are new. So the setup for these guys. Standard procedure, put numbered ring bases on the First Men Warriors, 1 to 6. This stuff is already done, thanks to the beauty of TTS. And then any aftermath stuff. So, where do we want to go? So their gist is they are 6+ to hit, 7 wounds to do. This is not an exhibition class, so we don't start with 1 wound. They have 2 activations. That is denoted by on their BP cards. So essentially when one First Men Warrior activates, this will get passed to the next one and it'll leapfrog over. Let's see. So additional setup is draw 1 battle tactics card. I guess we'll shuffle this and we'll draw 1. Tactics X. Add the effect corresponding to given tactic A and tactic B on the battle card. Oh, whoop. Nope, that's not the one I drew. Not really sure why these are, like, not... There we go. Something like that, I guess. Tree deploy. When you kill a First Men Warrior, immediately spawn a new one on the Great Mangrove Terrain tile, starting with the location number. Okay, I see. Then going clockwise. So I think it's the same layout as the ape. Oh, no, is not. Never mind. That was similar to the ape fight. Treat all First Men Warriors on Great Mangrove tiles as if they weren't on the clash board. They cannot be attacked, activated, or affected in any way until they leave those tiles. At the end of the night round, all First Men Warriors on Great Mangrove tiles, starting from the mob with the lowest number, move adjacent to those tiles onto the closest space possible to any knight. They do have advanced bypass, so they can move through figures, and they have an immediate spawn, which I'm not really sure what that means. I guess when you kill something, you immediately spawn another one. If any effect triggers Long Howl, spawn the White Ape Troll in the center of the clash board. Okay, well, let's hope that doesn't happen. Alrighty, so essentially how mob fights work, where there are multiple enemies to actually fight. When we attack them, rather than having a BP deck, they have BP cards listed here, and then those will be replaced and moved around as the enemies die. They have a signature and a AI deck, of course, like others. We'll just give everything a shuffle, and we'll place our characters. So they're going to go first. So First Men Guardians 1 and 2, which are going to be this guy and this guy. Those are going to be the first ones to attack. Let's go here. Let's have Bianca go... Actually, no. Bianca should be, like, down here with her ranged weapon. We'll have Rayloff and Salia take up the front line. Again, get some water. Alrighty, I think we're ready to start. Alright, as usual, the monsters get to go first. So we are going to have Guardian number 1 go. And he is going to draw an AI card. Sling Bullet, range attack. 3 evasion dice, 8+ to dodge. Targets furthest knight in sight. That is going to be Salia. And it is going to... unlimited range attack. If we had 3 or more heat, or if she had 3 or more heat, it'd be +1 extra dice to dodge. Gain exposed condition. For each hit, lose a vigor and draw a Mortis card. Also, I should specify it's not draw a Mortis card for each health lost. It's just draw a Mortis card at the end of this. But of course, the Squires don't have to worry about that. All right, Salia, you are dodging 3 attacks, milady. You only evade 1. Do we want to spend a... Oh, yeah. She should have reset her passion. Do we want to spend a heat to redraw that? I think so.
A 3 hits evaded. That's a full evasion, so we don't need to worry about the exposed condition card and don't need to worry about anything else. Perfect. However, that is only the first one. This guy is going to go. That'll leapfrog over this way. So number 2 is going to go. Number 2 is going to draw Quick Jab, Tactics Target. Oh boy. So the Tactics Target is the closest grouped knight. Grouped, I'm assuming, just means adjacent to another knight. Grouped. It is so weird when they have keywords and they don't tell you what it means. Oh, it says on here. Closest grouped knight. Tactics A, X, Herd X, Tactics B, X, Splinter X. End of the monster round, starting with the lowest number. Each mob moves 2 spaces to another closest mob until adjacent. Unless I'm missing something here. Tactics Target. I'm going to just assume it's one of these guys because they're technically grouped. Because I'm not really sure what grouped means at the moment. Alrighty, so number 2 is going to do closest group knight. That's going to be old Celia here. Oh wait, I was actually... Should have been Bianca getting attacked, not Celia. So, I mean, the draw would have been the same, but Bianca would have spent a heat. Alrighty, so it's going to be a move and attack. Tactics A, 2. 1 hit, lose 1 vigor. 2 hits or more hits, lose 3 vigor. Tactics B, 1. Oh my god, this is like... These guys are super complicated. 1, 2, 3. Moves up to there. So Tactics A... So we'll do the move and attack first. So trying to dodge 2 hits. It's going to be only 1. Celia, I think we'll spend a heat. Try and get 2. Oh, that's going to be a critical miss. So she gets hit twice. Oh, that's not good. Not good at all. So Tactics A2. Herd X. Herd is on here. So move up to X spaces towards the target, then move the targeted knight the remaining number of spaces, ignoring the source towards another closest knight along the shortest path or until adjacent. Treat this as involuntary movement. If it's already adjacent to another knight, they suffer knockdown instead of being moved. Afterwards, the source always moves adjacent to the target. If the target would end this movement on a space occupied by the source is displaced, and the previous space to the knight moved through. Ooh, so he's, yeah, they sort of grouped them together, but they're already adjacent, so Celia will suffer knockdown, unfortunately. And then 2 or more hits, and then she loses 3 vigor. 2, 3. And then Tactics B, 1. Splinter X. What the heck is Splinter? Knights adjacent to the target of the attack lose X vigor. Oh boy, alright, so Rayloff loses a vigor. I see what's going on here. I see your tricks, you First Men Warriors. Alright, and we don't have to draw a Mortis card because we are a Squire. Alright, end of the monster round. These will just flip back over for next round. However, they do, starting from the lowest number, each mob moves 2 spaces to another closest mob until adjacent. Already adjacent to this one. Number 2 will move probably back this way to be adjacent. 3 will move like this. 4 already adjacent, and now everyone's adjacent afterwards. So that is all of them grouped up to another closest mob until adjacent. Yeah. Alrighty, so it is our turn. Unfortunately, we have lost a person effectively, which is not great. Who's the best to attack with? Now, the thing is, all of these guardians have a different sort of reaction or potentially something negative when they're revealed, so could be pretty risky. I think we'll just go first. 2, 3, 4. I think we'll spread out a bit. Oh, sorry, sneezing there. Because it seems like they do want to group us up. So we'll move there. We'll attack number 4.
At the start of our turn as well, we refresh our heat. We'll get this card back in our hand. They should have also been flipped to the clash side. And we are going to attack with our officer's Morgenstern. We get +1 to this attack. We get 1 dice. There's no opening tokens here, so it's going to be effectively a 6+ because we need a 7+. We need a 6 on the dice to actually hit them. 50-50. That is a crit. Hell yeah. Oh, crit chance. We still have to wound, but we have a pretty good weapon to wound something. So first we reveal to see what body part we hit. This is number 4. He does not have a he does not have a revealed effect, which is great. The nice thing is, it does have an overcome effect, which we should be able to get because this guy only needs 2 wounds or 2 power to actually wound him and kill him. Overcome is different than overpower, where it's even if you're under the threshold, if you get at least 2 power, then you get to get an additional break token. So this guy's like super weak. And also we get to, if we wound, we have the critical effect rather than revealing the leftmost unrevealed. We get to look at the chosen BP card instead, which I guess we'll just choose. Well, I guess we'll see who we plan to attack with next. Probably just rail off attacking the guy in front. Actually, no, we'll probably have Salia go to reposition maybe here and then shoot this way. Maybe we'll shoot Guardian number 5, so maybe we'll look at number 5 instead. All right, so we need, we got 4 power dice. We just need to wound, or we just need 2 power. We do have a break token in here, and also we get 1 passion. Hopefully we get 4. That is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 because we have power on our weapon. So 6 power total. That is going to be definitely overpowering. So we get to put this into the wound stack. Also, let's just see what so we remember what it does. We got a critical, so we can look at the chosen BP card. We also will take out an AI level 1, put an AI level 2, and also take a BP 2 card and replace the one here. I believe that's how that works. It's an immediate spawn, so we also have to spawn a new thing. As part of that, and take a random BP card of 1 level higher from the escalation deck and place it on the leftmost empty space. Take the corresponding mob miniature and place it on a space specified by the monster sheet, which they want to be on the mangrove tokens, I think. When you first kill immediately spawn a new one on the Great Mangrove Terrain Tile, starting with the location number 1, then going clockwise. All right. Okay, sounds good. So this guy's effectively dead, but we'll just respawn here. And that one's been done, so then we go to number 2 next, and so on and so forth. All right, so that is going to be our first wound. We also get to reveal our chosen BB card. We'll look at 5. So this guy does not have a revealed effect. He's going to reveal the rightmost unrevealed if we wound it. So that's good to know. And we get to leave our tokens behind. Because we did the overpower, we get to leave a break token automatically. We leave 2 extra ones because of our weapon. And we leave a opening or a break token from our heroic arc, which we will leave an opening token behind for someone else. Fantastic. All right, so that is going to be it for me. Then we'll have... Oh, we also should get the priority target token because we have the highest passion. So we'll have Bianca go. Bianca will go 1, 2, 3. Because we could go as far as possible, but I don't want to be too far from everyone. So we'll go here. And we'll attack Guardian number 5 because we know what we're getting into here. We can shuffle this. We need a 7 to hit. There's 1 opening token in here. That is going to be 8. That's a successful hit. We're going to try to wound. The threshold is 3. And if we get at least 3, we also get to leave an extra opening token behind. So let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. I don't think so. I think we're good for now. Oh, I missed the critical chance. But we got the required amount of power, 3, plus a bunch extra. We got 6 total, so we're definitely overcoming as well. So we do get to leave an opening token behind, an additional one. Let's just clear this so I can not have to worry about it. But that is going to reshuffle this. We get a successful wound, so this guy does die. We have to reveal the rightmost unrevealed. And he does not have the reveal effect, sorry. So that's good. So then we have to take a AI card of equal level. Shuffle that in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we take another escalating level and put that there. And then this one dies, gets spawned over here, and that one's done. Alrighty, 2 wounds. Now we get to leave our tokens behind. We get to leave 1 break token automatically for the overcome effect, 1 break token for our weapon, and Bianca should have Bianca gets to also leave. Oh, wait, should have raised passion, of course, because I keep forgetting. And could leave another break token and an opening as well. So pretty solid start so far. Unfortunately, we are missing out on an attack, but we'll have Rayloff go. He might as well just kill the guy that we know what's going on. Could also just kill this first guardian, and then we don't have to move. We also successfully wounded, so she will have to exhaust her weapon. And I also need to as well, because I forgot to do that. We want to leave these guys actually for Bianca to attack. So I think we'll have Rayloff go 1, 2, 3, and sort of spread ourselves out a little bit. I think we have reach 2, so we'll attack Guardian number 3, I think, here. We want to save the BP2s for later. We want to do as many BP1s as possible, I think. And you don't want to escalate too quickly, because if we kill a BP2, we have to put a level 3 in there, and that's not the easiest. All right, Rayloff, you have 1 opening token in there. That's going to be a 9. That's going to be a hit. And for wounding, we need 3, same as before, exact same one. So we need at least 3. That's going to be 2 power plus 2 potentials is 4 power we can use. We don't have enough to get the overcome effect, unfortunately, because it's either you fail and you have at least 2, or if... Oh, no, the overcome 2. We actually do make it. I think the last one was overcome 3. Alrighty, sweet. So reveal the rightmost unrevealed BP. I think it's on a loop. So I guess this technically is the rightmost at this point. So I guess we'll reveal that. No reveal effect. Man, we're dodging a lot of stuff at the moment. But that is going to kill him. Another wound in the wound stack. This is a level 1, so we'll grab another AI level 2. Or another AI level 1 out. Put an AI level 2. And then put a BP level 2 in place. Sweet. And then we'll clear the night pool. Rayloff gets to leave 1 opening token behind. Also should have got passion, and also can leave another opening token behind. So no break tokens, which is a little unfortunate. And then old Celia can just flip over her card because she is done. All right, well, I mean, overall, 3 for 3. I'll take that. Could have been a lot worse. Now, unfortunately, it is going to be the First Man Warrior's turn, and they got a lot more strength now with the AI2 cards. All right, so it's going to be First Man Guardian number 3, which will pop over here afterwards. So First Man Guardian 3 is going to Hidden Blade, Tactics Target. Closest group knight, no one's grouped together. So it is going to be closest knight in front. That is definitely Rayloff. It could also be Bianca, but we'll have Rayloff take the hit here, I think, because we don't want enemies to get too close to Bianca. So it's going to be move and attack, gain the exposed condition card. Where is exposed? It's one of these. There we go. It's going to be the theme of this fight, so I might as well grab the whole stack. So Rayloff gets the exposed condition. Also needs to dodge 2 attacks. Dodge is 0. I think we're definitely going to spend a heat to refresh that. Or redraw. That's going to be double zeros. Oof. All right, he gets hit by both. Tactics A3. So that's going to be Herd X. Essentially going to move like that. The Herd stuff is definitely weird. Let's make sure we're doing that. Do they keep moving? Towards the target, then move the target at night. The remainder towards the closest knight along the shortest path. The target is already adjacent. Okay, they're not already adjacent. Okay, cool. Yeah, so they just group them up like that. For each hit, lose 2 vigor. Oh, God. Okay, good. Rayloff, I thought Rayloff was close down, but it's still 6 damage. He's got 3 vigor left. And now he's got he evades 1 less hit. And then tactics B1. That's going to be Splinter 1. So adjacent knights take 1 damage. So that's going to be Salia again. All right, we did have a decent start, but we really got to make sure. I mean, assuming everyone can hit their mark, we can end this next turn. And then Knight Firstman Guardian number 4 goes. Heavy Javelin Throw, range attack, furthest knight in sight. So this is number 4. Oh, we also should have moved them off, I think. Yeah, at the end of the night round, all Firstman warriors, starting with the mob with the lowest number, move adjacent to those tiles to the closest possible knight. All right, so this guy would have moved here, and this person would have moved here. All right, this person is attacking the furthest knight in sight, and its range attack is unlimited, so it's going to hit Bianca. They're having a ranged battle. There's 2 attacks to try and dodge. For each hit, lose 2 vigor. All right, Bianca, you got this. A evades both the hits, so we can ignore the exposed condition card and the health loss. Sweet. So that is going to be a full miss for them. So that is going to be our turn up next. Oh, wait. End of round, they're going to move, starting with the lowest knight. Where's 1? He's already adjacent. Number 2 is already adjacent. 3 is going to move back this way. 4 is going to move like this. 5. I guess it's bypass will just move like this. And then 6 will just move up like this. I feel like I'm missing something in this battle, but I'm sure I will get corrected later on. Alrighty, there's 2 opening tokens. I'm still in the middle of a grouping, so I think we're going to go with my character because I don't have to move. So we're going to spend our movement action to refresh our weapon, and then we are going to attack. We'll attack number 4, I think. I don't think it really matters too much. Yeah, we'll attack number 4. Oh wait, it actually does matter. Number 4 is a BP2. Number 6 is also BP2. That's unfortunate. 1, 2, and 3 are the only ones left at BP1. I mean, we're rolling 4 power dice. If we hit, I think that's worth it. And we will get to our next thing to... We can re-roll a power dice too. And I have not have to draw any Mortis cards yet, I don't think. Oh wait, no, I did draw a Mortis card earlier, I'm pretty sure, didn't I? So I should have got a Zeal token. Dang, that actually gives me evasion reroll. Cool. I think that's an evasion reroll, right? Yeah, I think it's an evasion reroll, not an attack reroll. I will double check though. Evasion. It's a power reroll. Attack reroll. Oh, weird, evasion reroll is not on there. It's weird that power reroll icons are on there, but not like evasion or attack reroll. Just a little bit annoying. I think it's a... because this appears on some of the cards for everyone else. These are all power reroll stuff. Or maybe they don't give you. I've sworn that some of them are evasion rerolls. Oh yeah, the armor. Armor can potentially give you it. Okay, yeah, it is an armor evasion reroll. Cool. Alrighty. Yeah, we'll punch Guardian number 6, I guess. And he won't be able to go. Yeah, we'll punch Guardian number 6. So we get 1 dice. We get +2, +3 total because we have a +1 on our weapon. So we need a 4+ on the dice. That is another crit. Holy moly. All right. We got a crit chance, so that's really, really good. Let us see what we hit. So this is Guardian number 6. When it's revealed, every monster attack in Zone 2 from Praetorian causes additional -2 loss while it's revealed. Praetorian causes. All right. I have no clue what that means, but apparently they have some Zone 2 attacks. Ooh, if we get the critical, we can immediately move up to 2 spaces and perform a bonus attack. Unfortunately, my weapon does not let me attack twice in a row because I have to refresh it. I could discard my weapon and attack with my knives, which I might end up doing. We'll see. We'll see if I even wound though. All right, so we get 4 dice, 3 from my weapon, 1 from my just from being me, and we need to beat 6. If we get at least 5 though, we get an additional power 1. So realistically, we only need 5. That's a weird way to do things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 total with my weapon. So that is going to be a successful wound and the overcome. So we have an additional power, not like it matters. And we got our critical, so we can ignore the wound aspect. This guy dies. We do have to shuffle in, and this will go to the next available. We do have to shuffle in a AI level 3 though. So take out an AI level 2, put an AI level 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. BP level 3 takes its place. And this goes in the wound stack. So we can move up to 2 spaces and perform a bonus attack. Now, and this guy dies and gets put here. And we can just refresh this. Okay, so I could move up to 2 spaces. I could move up to like Guardian 1, 2, or 3 because they're only BP level 1 still, so they're a lot easier to wound. I also do leave a bunch of stuff behind. I forgot. We should have gone up to here. I can reposition. I can leave 2 break, an opening. Actually, I can leave 3 break because my weapon. And the guaranteed one here, and then we'll leave 1 opening. So maybe we do something like that. But then we have to exhaust this because I wounded with it. I don't think bonus attacks actually end up refreshing your stuff, right? Because I think it specifically says for the knights, like that's the reason that why you might end up discarding card or discarding your weapon so you can use your knives or your unarmed attacks to get a bonus attack off. If you do unexhaust it, then oh wait, for a bonus attack you may declare an exhausted weapon as your active weapon if you do unexhaust it and continue the attack. Oh baby, alrighty. Well, that's really good for us. We unexhaust this, so I guess we should go through. Now I could actually go for the 6. Oh no, the 6 is on the mangrove tree, so it can't be there. Because if you defeat BP level 3s, they count as double wounds. I guess we just go for the easier ones and make sure to just get those out of the way. And then it just puts less AI level 2s into the deck. Yeah, we'll just start. We'll just go for this guy because we know what it is. Yeah, I think that's fine. So which one is he? So we can move up to 2 spaces. We'll attack this guy. Should be a pretty easy one here. We get to raise our passion again because it's a bonus attack. That is a 9. That's going to be a successful hit. Then we get to roll our power dice. Definitely should be able to get this easy, and we get the huge amount of overcome. So we get to leave an extra opening token behind. This guy dies. Gets placed here. We'll leave that there. This gets just put to the next one. We get to put this card. This guy reveals the leftmost unrevealed BP. While it's revealed, every monster in Zone 2 from Principus has +1 to hit. Principus. I wonder if that's a It's not like an extra ability. Hope I'm not missing anything. I don't really know. Maybe it's reliant on what type of tactic, I guess. And then this goes in the wound stack. We will get a level 1 AI card. Look through the deck first before looking through the discard pile. All right, we're 2 wounds away from getting this done. Do have to exhaust this now again, though. And we need a BP level 2 up here. Okay, so let's see here. Anything else I can do? I don't think so. Oh, I should have left I could leave a Zeal token behind. Or I could get a Zeal token. I get attack reroll. I think I'd rather just leave something better behind for other people. So we get to leave 2 break, 3 break guaranteed from our stuff. So that's like that. We can leave an opening token from our level 1 on Heroic Arc. And we could choose to leave another opening. We could get a Zeal token, or we could leave another break token. I think we just need to make sure we can punch through stuff. So we can attack... Bianca can attack number 3. It's still just a BP level 1, so I think we're fine there. So I don't think we need to do that. We just need to make sure to hit. So I think we'll leave an opening token behind. Yeah, just to really increase our chances. We just don't really want it to mess up. All right, that is Paracelsus' turn. Bianca is going to go attack Guardian number 3. I guess we can attack Guardian number 2. It's also level 1. And it gets rid of whatever this is. This looks scary. And if we get a crit, we get a bonus attack. So yeah, let's just do that. Let us do that, I think. Oh, we also leave an extra opening token behind. I forgot because of the overcome effect. All right. We'll use our movement action to unexhaust our crude bow. We refresh 1 on our heat. We'll gain 1 when we attack. So we got +3 to our attack. That is going to be a crit miss. We will definitely spend a heat to redraw that, but we do have to shuffle everything back in because it is a crit miss. All right, 7 is going to be a hit. Now we get a roll to wound. We need at least a 4. If we get a 3, at least a 3, we get a break 1 and opening 1. Or if we get a 7, we also wound and get a opening 1, break 1. That's going to be 3 power plus a bunch of break tokens that we only can use 1 of those with the potential. So that's 4 power. So that is going to be a successful wound, which is fantastic. This will hop over to the next. The furthest mob performs signature attack against the attacker. Ooh, it's a little bit annoying. But that is a level 1. We have no more AI level 1s in the AI deck, so we will grab a level 1 from the discard pile. Put in an AI level 2, and we'll shuffle everything back. And this will end up going into the wound pile, so we only need 1 more. So it is possible we can end it here. Furthest mob performs signature attack against the attacker. So this is their signature. It's going to be long range throw, tactics target. Well, it's going to be against the attacker. So try to dodge 3. So Bianca's going to try to dodge 3. That's going to be a crit miss. We'll spend a power or a heat to redraw. Whoops. Gotta reshuffle. Oh, crit miss into crit miss. All right, well, it is what it is. At least you got the wound off. That's an important part. For each hit, lose 1 wound. Or 1 vigor. So it loses 3 vigor. And yeah, we also have to reshuffle this again. Tactics B2. Splinter X, not adjacent to anyone else, so no one else takes any extra stuff. The First Man Warrior moves 2 spaces away from the target. So this would have been the furthest. I don't think these are on the board just yet. Oh, we needed a BP level 2 as well. Put in here. So we'll say this Guardian did it. So moves 2 spaces away. Okay, well there is still a bunch of tokens to leave behind. Because of we did not get the overcome though. So we just leave one break token behind, as well as we can leave an opening. We'll leave 2 openings from our heroic arc and a break. So another 2 openings and another break. All right, so pretty good. All right, we can have Salia or Rayloff go. I think what is the best chance? Probably Rayloff because he's already attacked and he can leave more things behind for Salia. I'll just get rid of this knockdown card. Yeah, because Rayloff also doesn't have to move. He can attack number 3, and that's our last wound. It's only BP level 1. We can also just spend our movement action to get rid of this exposed card too. So we'll get rid of that. We'll have Rayloff just stay here, attack number 1. Or sorry, number 3. Has a +2. That is a crit chance. Hell yeah. And then we need, we need 4 power. And not like it matters, but if we crit, we can immediately move and perform another attack. Alrighty, let's try again. Alright, you got this, buddy. You got 2 break tokens. That is going to be 2 power plus 1 break. Turns that into a 3rd power. Oh, I can't make a 4th power, can I? No, because the card does not match my clues or anything like that. Alright, so look. Oh, wait, no, he should have refreshed 1 at the start of his turn. Whew. All right, we do have a heat to utilize, so we'll spend that last heat that we just should have refreshed at the start of the turn to redraw a new one. There we go. That is 2 power plus 2 potentials, which turns those 2 breaks into 2 more power, which is 4. And that is going to be a successful wound and our 7th wound to win the fight. That went really, really smoothly. Yeah, mob fights definitely seem like as long as you can get each attack to hit, there's just many more things to target, so it's a little bit easier to target the things that you need and make it easy. Again, maybe I accidentally cheated. There might have been a rules thing I forgot to do. Quite potential. Yeah, because there's still a lot to remember, but I think I got most things right for this. Again, let me know in the comments below. All right, so because it's the aftermath, we refresh our stuff. I don't think we really need to do that because it's the very end. We can return all technique cards back to our hands, remove all conditions, so we can get rid of our... oh, no, we never didn't have any more. Perfect. So the usual, unexhaust and yada yada. If you won the clash, perform clash scavenge 1, which means we get to do a full clash and put that in our loot deck. And then scavenge 3, so we can get... Let's get another upgrade in there, and I think maybe 2 kingdom. More gear for future runs. Oh, wait, no, we don't have it anymore, so we'll just put another consumable in there, I think. All right, and if we're not on a quest, we go to the spoils phase because it is our full clash, which we have completed our expedition. That went really, really well. So we go to the spoils phase, which is... We can use the gambling den here, I think. Spoils phase, spoils phase, spoils phase. This is the first time I've done this. All right. Once an expedition is concluded, your knights will return to the outpost to recover their strength and divide the loot. The entirety of the spoils they gain is represented by the loot deck. Certain effects during the delve may instruct you to add cards to the loot deck. Cards from the loot deck will be distributed between players at the end of the expedition. During loot distribution, you'll be able to exchange your loot cards for either gold or specific gear cards. There's 5 types. Kingdom gear can be exchanged for a gear card from the kingdom you've gained the loot in. Upgrade cards can be used to strengthen your current gear. Consumable gear cards can be exchanged for special gear cards that, after equipping after an expedition, will move to the merchant deck for the next spoils phase. Exhibition clash loot is like monster-specific loot, and same for the full clash. When exchanging loot cards for gear, you must always exchange it for a gear card of your current tier or lower. If you can't, you must exchange it for gold instead, and you can always exchange them for loot. Exchange the loot cards for gold. Cool. To distribute the gained loot after an expedition, place all loot cards from the loot deck in the middle of the table so that all players can see them, meaning me. all of the squires do not get any loot. It is all for their fellow knight. We got a lot of loot. This is actually a really solid run, I think. Kingdom gear, exhibition clash, and another kingdom gear. So we got all the kingdom gear available. Alrighty. These are the common goods. Next, distribute the common goods between yourselves in such a way that each knight gains 1 chosen loot card, 2 if they succeed in a free roam instead, then exchange these loot cards for appropriate gear or gold, whichever you prefer. Note that squires may influence the amount of common goods you distribute between knights. See gold and loot in the squire rules section. If players cannot agree who gets what, the majority wins, which ties are broken for the leader. Oh, so we only get 1. The remaining common goods become the spare scrap, 1 by 1, starting with the party leader, then going clockwise. Each knight takes 1 from the scrap pile into their and then left. Then you can exchange all those loot cards for gold now. Or at the end of the gambling step. Interesting. They cannot be exchanged for gear anymore. Okay, so you pretty much only get 1 gear guaranteed. When it comes to getting gear... When distributing the common goods between the knights, each squire allows the party to exchange 1 additional loot card for an appropriate gear. Oh, I see. For example, when playing with 2 squires, your knight will get 2 additional gear cards from that expedition. You can still exchange those loot cards for gold if you prefer. Okay, cool. So we can essentially exchange 4 total, 1 for ourselves and 3 extra for 3 squires. So we can superpower ourselves. All right, so I definitely want the exhibition clash and the full clash for myself to get actual gear from the monsters. I think we will do a consumable, and I don't really think we need to do upgrades. I think I'd rather just get another kingdom gear and just have the most gear possible, because then for future solo stuff, I can lend some gear to squires, potentially. Alrighty, and then the rest of them are the spare scrap. Now, I'm the party leader, and I guess the squires will just not take anything? Or I guess they take something and then they just turn it into gold, but that doesn't make sense because then we would technically just get that gold. It does seem pretty strong that we just get all the rest and get all that gold, but I guess, again, we are the knight and we are playing with Squire, so I guess it makes sense. I guess we just go with that. So we can exchange all of them for gold, so in total we get, because we go with the mob tier, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We get 14 gold in total at the very end. Nice. 14 gold. That is a lot of gold. And these will get discarded, but we can then exchange the gear for actual gear. So let's pull these over here. Let's take a look at some of the gear that we can get. So for merchant gear, I don't think we need to work that. So the white ape coat. Does it say what type? I think it had to be of the type of clash that we did it in, right? So we did not fight the white ape troll, so we don't get that stuff. This is the first men warriors, though. So for the exhibition clash, we could exchange for this. Winged nightmare, we could get the bow or the wing cloak. That's pretty good. I mean, I really like armor. Poison limit +1. I don't even know if there's any poison in the demo at the moment, so it's probably not that great. But it does give us an extra armor dice to roll. Reduce our damage taken. I think standard spear mace is probably pretty good because we can lend that to other people. I mean, reach 2, it's still unwieldy, but it's just opening 1, but you get 2 additional power dice. Oh, so you get potentially 3 power dice because 1 power dice per hit and then an additional power dice on top. So, and then the 4th one coming from the character themselves, which is pretty good. Although it's less effective with the squires. But reach 2 and opening 1 still good. I do like the idea of armor though. The alternative, we can also exchange for the wing cloak or the bone bow. Oh, the bone bow is sick. Damn, +3, 3 power dice. But it's range 3 of 5, so they have to be within 3 to 5. It's also cumbersome, and when you... Oh, never mind. It's still really good, though. It's also flammable. Oh, that gives me PTSD from Kingdom Death Monster gear burning away. On a character, that would give 4 power dice plus a guaranteed power. That's a really strong weapon. The cloak is +1 bravery, guard 1. When you're about to suffer involuntary movement, you may reduce it by 1 to a minimum of 1. What does guard do again? I'm pretty sure it's just a straight up block a hit. If that is the case, that is insanely strong. Guard X. Before re-rolling evasion dice, you may add +X to the result, spreading between any of the evasion dice. You cannot re-roll those dice. But before re-rolling evasion dice. Oh, interesting. So let's say we have to roll a 6+ to hit and we roll a 5. We could just guard 1 and make that a 6. That's actually really strong. I'm guessing that would also work with the Squires and they just +1 to their evasion. Actually, no, I don't think that would work with... Oh, no, sorry. Squires can only hold weapons, not armor and stuff. I think we just take the armor, to be honest. But I do like this bone bow, though. Yeah, I mean, we take the bone bow in the first Lorica. I don't mind that idea. So that's the exhibition clash and the full clash. Done. Consumable gear. We can unlock a bunch of different stuff. Smelling salts, crackling stones, flickering torch. Okay, maybe not a bunch of stuff. So this got 2 charges. Spend a charge to place a break or opening token in the night pool. Use a... Oh, you can refill them. That's really cool. If you're at the Judicium stage of your Mortis Peril arc, you can discard 1 armor token from anywhere. Interesting. 3 charges on the flickering torch. 1 is to wander, choose a direction. Okay, so this is for like the Delve phase. Makes sense. 2 charges for smelling salt. We can spend a charge to lose a heat, or 2 charges to lose 3 heat. That could be really good too. I think that crackling stones is super useful because you could use these stones to place a breaker opening token before you actually attack to get additional. I think that's the best one. And then we have the Kingdom gear, which are from... here we go. So we have Gladiator Arm Guard as a support, so it doesn't take up an armor slot. Gives +1 might. We can spend 2 heat and exhaust it to ignore unwieldy on your weapons until end of turn. Oh, that's really good with the bow. Oh, wait, sorry. Bow's not unwieldy. I think the regular bow is unwieldy. Yes, it is. So it would allow the regular bow to attack diagonally or not just in a straight line. +1 might's good too. Ancient Totem. When moving through a swamp terrain tile, you may re-roll the dice rolled on the swamp effect once. 2 heat to discard when you're about to perform rotation. Ignore it. If you're at grave, you can lifeline. Don't know what that means. Probably all right. Eastern Oil Lamp. 2 heat and exhaust to trail make 3. Then place 1 fire token in the night pool. That's pretty cool. And then 1 heat to and exhaust to move 1 space. Oh, that's cool. Free little move to reposition. That kind of movement's good if you have to unexhaust a weapon or something like that. What does trail make do? At the start of the Deep Fog Traversal, you may look at the top X cards of the Deep Fog deck, select 1 and put it aside, shuffle the rest of the cards in the Deep Fog deck, and put the selected card at the bottom. Allows you to fix the Deep Fog deck a little bit. I don't think that's as useful. I think we get the Gladiator Arm Guard. I guess it's not that big of a deal. We can't use, or Squires can't use this gear, so it actually doesn't really affect. And plus, we're going to give the bow, which doesn't have unwieldy anyways. It's a little bit awkward because they can't use any of this stuff. Fire tokens are pretty good, though. But also moving through swamp tiles is also really nice because you don't just instantly, I think, die. Yeah, maybe we do that. It's a little bit of a nice lifesaver for us. All right, so that is our gear and our loot. So that is going to be the Bone Bow, First Lorica, Ancient Totem, and the Crackling Stones. A pretty solid set of gear. We also have completed everything we need to. Let's see. We have the Gambling Den, betting. I don't think we're going to worry too much about that. I think we just want the gold. And I think that does it. You won, depending on the clash. Okay. We get to also mark our successful expedition 1-1. Nice. So that is all done. And we get our night reward as well, which is the Mantle of the Faithful, specifically for Paracelsa. Where is Mantle of the Faithful? Where is the Mantle of the Faithful? Oh, here it is. These are the rewards. Mantle of the Faithful. So Mantle of the Faithful. When you're about to resolve a negative minor or major Mortis deck, we can lose 1 Vigor or 2 Vigor respectively. Instead, then shuffle that card back into the deck and resolve the Mortis card again. If we have 2 or more Passion, we can also provoke. So we can also taunt. So we can taunt people, and we can also have like free, well, not free, but second chance redraws using our health to redraw stuff, which is very, very useful, especially for the major ones, because those can be really, really bad. It's another support, too, so it doesn't take up an armor slot, which is very, very sweet. Alrighty, that is it for our successful run of Kingdoms Forlorn. Wow, this went really, really well. It was a very, very long video. I apologize if it was quite a bit messy. Obviously, there was a lot of stuff that was new to me that I was a little bit unclear on. If there's any rules that I got incorrect, definitely please to let me know in the comments below. But definitely only let me know if you actually have concrete rules that are actually wrong, not just like your interpretations, because I think it's fine to interpret stuff, but I would rather just note what the proper rules are. But I think nothing's wrong with interpreting stuff for your own games. Now, in terms of how the Squires perform, the Squires are pretty good. We did get excess clues that we need, so we could actually utilize those excess clues potentially as leads down the road, and the Squires can utilize their excess leads to unlock new metal cards to add to the deck to make their deck a little bit stronger. Now, after playing with the Squires in a full game, I feel pretty good about them. I think the only reason, though, is because I house ruled the thing with being able to give them gear. If all 3 of them were only using their unarmed attacks, I don't think we would have been able to do much. It's just too difficult. They're just too limited. The biggest thing is they are limited in how much they can redraw. They only get 2 heat limit, and there's like no ways to really increase that much. They also have very limited heroic arc. But I'm very glad that they changed how the health works, because the previous version of the Squires was they only get pretty much 2 hits and then they're dead. Now they can actually survive, and they even draw Judicium cards where even at 0 health, they might get lucky and draw 50/50s and succeed. I do like the Squire metal deck. It does feel pretty good. I think it almost makes evading stuff a lot easier. To be honest, I think with just how many hits you typically have to evade and how much there are of like 2 or 3 hits evaded, I think that makes them a little bit stronger than evading than having to roll dice. I mean, they obviously don't get any reroll evasion perks or evasion benefits, but it felt pretty good evading with them. And even attacking and wounding, it felt reasonable. Like, it didn't feel like it was overpowered or things are going one way a lot better. It did still rely on you having to have a decent amount of break tokens to utilize, and opening tokens, especially when they don't get to use the precision bonuses on the weapons. I definitely think they should add in the rule where you could, if you have unused knights in your collection, they could borrow gear from them as well, of like similar or lower tier. Because, yeah, I think especially when you start the game, if you're starting solo, it's going to be really difficult to get a successful run until you start like getting a lot of gear for yourself. But that also limits the amount of gear that you're going to be able to accumulate overall anyways, which is going to limit your progression if you're having to get weapons specifically for your Squires because they can't use anything but weapon gear. It's going to be rough. Oh, actually, now that I think about it, I think Squires can only use merchant gear. Yeah, it has to be a merchant weapon, which makes my choice even worse, because I chose this bow for them, but I just realized because it's not a merchant weapon, they can't actually use it. Well, that sort of sucks, but it's okay. I mean, I have that weapon in my collection now. I can lend it to another knight or something like that, probably. Or just use it myself, because it is still a really strong weapon. I think I still hold my belief that playing with Squires is hard mode. I think it's pretty difficult if you aren't familiar with this type of game. I think it's going to be rough for people who this is like their first style of this game, and they're going to be trying to just play solo by themselves with Squires. I would recommend play with 2 knights and 2 Squires if you are going to be playing true solo. It still cuts down on the mental, the cognitive load you'll have in trying to juggle all these different technique cards and abilities, but you'll be able to have more flexibility in how you spread out weapons and loan weapons, and also just power level in general. I think it'll be a lot smoother. I think if you do have the capability of managing everything, then just play with 4 knights, because honestly, you're only hurting yourself by only playing with Squires. You do get the benefit of having a little bit more option and not having to deal with the rewards at the end. That is a benefit of Squires, as you just get a lot more rewards for your own character specifically. So it could be the case where you could have a mix, because this is the nice thing about this game is, unlike Aeon Trespass Odyssey, where you are pretty much stuck with having everyone have to stay as a group and playing every single session together, otherwise they lose out on a lot of stuff, especially story. It could be the case where Paracelsa, or not Paracelsa, but just like you play a knight by yourself, level up a bit of gear, and then like you can utilize that gear with multiple people, and hopefully you're able to swap between, you know, playing with a group and playing with yourself, playing by yourself. If you're going through everything completely solo, I would say at least, play with 2 knights, 2 Squires. I don't recommend playing 1 knight, 3 Squires unless you're going to be homebrewing like I did, and home ruling it. I do hope they make the change, that you can at least give them some early starting gear for your very first session, because I don't like when like someone's going to be penalized for wanting to play solo, or maybe they have to play solo because they don't have anyone that can commit to a game like this, because this game is as much as you can say it's like easier to play with multiple groups or break up the sessions with, you know, your friends. It's still difficult, and it's still a commitment where you still have to commit people to the table for hours and hours at a time, because this game is very, very long, as you can tell by this video. I mean, obviously I was still learning some stuff. It's not, you know, I was explaining rules and things like that, but you know, at minimum you're looking at probably 4 to 5 hours to complete a full expedition of this game, because, you know, you're gonna take breaks, you're gonna shoot the shit with your friends and discuss stuff, especially reading the stories, which we didn't even touch, so that would extend this video as well. We didn't read any story related stuff, so it's still long play sessions, and there's still a lot to commit to. So, but that's gonna do it for this video. This is a hefty one. I'm gonna have to edit definitely some things in this video, but hopefully it wasn't too messy. Hopefully you still were able to follow along and enjoy. Again, I think I might just wait till the game's fully out before I make a beginner's guide. But if people want me to do a beginner's guide and just go through the rules a little bit more in depth, I can do that for people, just purely based off this TTS demo. But otherwise, I think I might just make another video. Maybe we'll just do another Let's Play. I'll maybe try doing 2 nights to Squires, and then we'll do a solo run that way. But thank you all so much for watching. I know a lot of you have been waiting a long time for me to make a video on this. It was all over the place, but hopefully you still enjoyed it. But until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.